just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Wait a minute. I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You play basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm sorry, son, but you must have me confused with someone else. My name is Roger Murdoch. I'm the co-pilot.
You are Kareem. I've seen you play. My dad's got season tickets.
I think you should go back to your seat now, Joey. Right, Clarence?
Oh, he's not bothering anyone. Let him stay here.
All right, but just remember, my name is Roger Murdoch. I'm an airline pilot.
I think you're the greatest, but my dad says you don't work hard enough on defense. And he says that lots of times you don't even run down court. And that you don't really try, except during the playoffs.
The hell I don't.
Sure is quiet out there. Yeah, too quiet. I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Would you gentlemen care to order your dinners?
Bet, babe. Slide a piece of the porter. Drinks, I run the job.
Look at here. I can take grease and trumpet on some butter and drag him through the garden.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Grab a dog!
That's the family. Philly style. It's a Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
Good Monday to everybody. It's going to be an exciting show today. Big guests coming into the studio. Very controversial. Fez and I will be talking with Buck Wild. Buck Wild will be doing here today.
We'll see what happens.
And you know he gonna be going off.
Oh, no, you didn't.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Hey, Mike. Welcome. First call of the week.
Hey, how you doing there, Ron and Fez?
Don't worry about how we're doing. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing real good. Hey, I just wanted to let Fezzy know that if he doesn't go to that Poison concert, he's really going to miss out. I got to see them in Clearfield, Pennsylvania at a little country fair kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
They were off the hook, man. They were awesome. They did a full show, breaks. It was absolutely the best. It was just like us come back to the 90s.
You saw Poison at a country fair. Now, were you able to see them from the Tilt-A-Whirl, or did you actually have to go to one special part on the other side of the cows and livestock?
See, seeing them at a county fair, that's not so bad, because you can throw in funnel cakes. It doesn't make the evening a total loss.
Funnel cakes is one of those foods, Fez, I never understood the allure. And I saw that Denny's commercial where you can have funnel cakes in the morning. I just feel like you're asking for trouble.
That's starting a good breakfast there. That is deep fried and then sugar sweet.
I'll have the funnel cakes, I guess, for breakfast. You know, I need a side of cotton candy and maybe an apple on a stick dipped in maple syrup.
Oh, man, that sounded good right now, actually.
Ron and Fez Show, 866-RON-0-FEZ.
The Communist Youth newspaper in Cuba.
You read that, actually?
I subscribe.
Yeah. We used to call it Weekly Reader. I don't know what they call it now.
They published a letter from Elian Gonzalez sent to Castro wishing a speedy recovery to his dear Grandpa Fidel, signed with little kisses.
By the way, Grandpa, if you die, I'm back in Miami within 15 minutes. If the world was Big Brother, Elian Gonzalez would be known as a floater. Going from one team to the other, wherever the power is, that's where Elian is.
Elian was literally a floater in this. So he's saying that he loves Fidel, calls him Grandpa, and just wishing him all the best.
And I'm sure that's in his handwriting.
Because also in Cuba, they've said that the citizens there have a right to start cracking down if they hear any friends or neighbors bad-mouthing the government during this Castro absence.
All right, we've got a little audio right now of Elian sending big ups to Grandpa.
That's quite something, isn't it, for the president of a country to say he's honored to have a kid as a friend?
Yes, and it's also very moving to me. And I also believe I am his friend.
Do you think of him as a friend?
Not only as a friend, but also as a father.
If you had a problem, would you call him up and tell him about it?
I could.
To me, it sounds like Elian is a little anime kid. Like where he's got big giant eyes, and when he cries, the tears go out sideways.
I didn't understand why they had to bring in a kid interpreter just because there's a kid talking.
Well, wouldn't it sound odd if a man's going, yes, I love my Grandpa Fidel. I love him with every bit of my tiny Cuban dick.
I like that anytime they have some sort of summit where it's like Vladimir Putin talking, but they use a woman interpreter. So it looks like Putin has just the sweetest female voice.
I like a little kid going like this. And death to the Yankee imperialist forces. Death to them. I wish atomic bombs would rain down on my family in Miami.
That didn't sound too rehearsed, Elian.
Well, you know, the kid is behind enemy lines. Whatever it takes to fucking get over.
And he probably is leading the good life. I mean, the last thing you want any camera to catch is Elian Gonzalez running around without shoes on. He's probably being treated great there.
Fez, don't act like when you weren't his age, you weren't coming in with a diorama and acting like that was a good idea. When you're a little kid, you just go along with whatever the adults say. I walked past a store today on the way in here and saw school supplies. I got a fucking shiver, like maybe I had to go back. To this day, this is the scariest time of the year for me. That late in August, it feels like fun, but now suddenly they want you to go buy itchy pants and Trapper Keepers.
They got one of those TV commercials on where you push the easy button. It's like Office Depot or Staples, something like that. And the kid who's having fun on his summer vacation is instantly carrying just armfuls of folders and notebooks and pencils.
What a nightmare. What a goddamn nightmare when you're a kid. I remember when I was a little kid, I would be nervous on July 4th because in my mind, that was the halfway point. And I would think, it's a fucking slippery slope all the way down.
The clock is ticking away here.
Yeah. I remember any time that I saw the Phils that already played 100 games, that gave me a pain in my stomach. I would have these little points of the summer that would send me into, oh, Jesus Christ, this isn't the real world. I'm going to go back into that dump.
And you just start thinking, I'm going to take advantage of every single day that's left, and it just goes so quick as the summer ticks away.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Hey, Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, how are you?
Don't worry about that.
Just a quick correction. The funnel cake breakfast is at IHOP, not Denny's.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, I'll have to think of that next time I'm in fucking Yokelville, and I decide I want to get a little quick breakfast in the morning.
IHOP, or is it some Breakfast Candyland?
Well, they already have enough pancakes. It's an international house of pancakes. That's not enough for them. Now they have to have a funnel cake first thing in the morning.
They eventually just want all the cakes. They'll be having devil's food cake for breakfast.
Edgar, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
That's none of your fucking business.
Nice guy. Every time I go to a shoe store, the smell of the shoes reminds me of going back to school.
Remember how hard shoes used to feel on your feet when you would get the good shoes? As my mom used to call them, we're going to get a pair of good shoes. And this year, you come straight home, take off your good shoes, and into your stinks. What a fucking nightmare. Walk back and forth in them. Oh, jeez, it feels like, they'd ask you, oh, how does it feel? I don't know, like I'm a bottom in some kind of an S&M gig?
Yeah, they never felt good. How are you supposed to know how they felt? They always felt bad.
I never wore shoes in the summer either, like some kind of Tom Sawyer inbred. I was just running around half naked like a moron, thinking that life was good, as if Eve hadn't bit into the apple. I just enjoyed the entire summer. And the next thing I know, I'm just rubbing cow leather around my feet. It was awful.
I hated any of the back-to-school clothes shopping whatsoever. That was just, it seemed like it took forever to buy back-to-school clothes.
You have to put on a little show, like when your mom would want to show your dad all the new clothes that he paid for. Put on the pants now.
We used to beg that our father would take us clothes shopping because he was as agonized as we were. He wanted to make it go as fast as possible.
Run through it quick.
Yeah, it's a run through it. Like, that fits good. Go, come on. We're gonna wear it right out the store.
Remember when you would try to convince your mom that the pants were already fine without you trying them on? They're good. I know they fit.
You had to try everything on. They just never knew your size.
Well, your size changes constantly when you're a little kid. You're growing, you're moving, things is going down. And your mom's like, now we need dungarees. Maybe if we have time, we'll stop and have lunch. She wanted to turn it into something nice. What a fucking nightmare. Randy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Big ass 307, buddies.
Hoo-ah!
Yo, early August, when the newspapers, you're reading the comics and the circulars to all the stores started saying back to school with those little dorks in all the clothes, you're like, uh-oh, it's time.
Yeah, the word back to school is a nightmare. Nightmare. Barry, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddies, Miss Baby Love.
Miss Baby Love, too.
Hey, I still can't enjoy Sunday evenings, afternoons because of school. I start getting depressed at about 4 p.m. on Sunday. And I've been out of school for, 10, 12 years now.
You know, there's an actual name for that. I can't think of what it is, but it's a psychological name. And, Fez, you get a weird Sunday night vibe, too, where it's like Sunday night anxiety.
Sunday night anxiety, I get it every Sunday, and it's right. I can time it. It's like 4:30, 5 o'clock. As soon as the sun starts to dip the slightest bit, it just rolls right over me like a wave.
And it's the same thing. Did you have it when you were a little kid?
Oh, I always had it. Yeah, that thing I always had.
So what do you worry about?
I'm not
Getting your week started?
I think that's what it is, yeah. Maybe like I'm not prepared to start a new week of school or whatever.
Well, you don't go to school anymore.
Yeah, but that thing was embedded in me.
Yeah. Earl, you're the same way?
A little bit, like around 8 o'clock or so, like when the day is ending and you're sort of like, oh, God, the week. It's that anxiety. It's like, oh, I got to be somewhere on a Monday.
It never occurs to me that I even have to be to work till like 5 minutes before. 5 minutes before, I think to myself, oh, yeah, I have a job.
So, yeah, not me. I start thinking about it at sundown.
What's going on with the phones, Earl? Why am I getting these messages?
We had a temporary problem, which has now been fixed.
So why would I get the letter over it?
No, we just wanted to let you know that there was a slight problem, but it's been corrected.
I don't understand it. I don't understand what it has to do for me. Here's Brian. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
The great one. With the grandmother, back to school shopping. See all the young soccer player guys. I was a football player guy. Want to go in the Gap because that's where the cool kids go. Go to Grandma. Let's go in the Gap. She yells out, they do not have Husky-sized pants in the Gap. Had to go get the Huskies at Sears.
Yeah, they will throw out the Husky word as quick as... I guess for women, a little boy's fat ass means nothing to them. But, you know, the kid, it's the last word he wants to hear.
So come first day of school, there's all the soccer guys, you know, all the in-shape guys. They come back, hey, Husky, where's Husky at?
Right. They might as well just call you unfuckable. Your mother must say unfuckable. This is funny. Your grandmother would take you shopping?
Yeah, the grandma would come in for the day, you know, with a big Buick, roll up.
Yeah.
And it was all about Sears and Pennies, and they had the Husky-sized pants there.
Sears and Pennies, what nightmare stuff.
I
remember this, just those size of the stripes on the shirt, that they just would be, there would only be like 4 stripes. That's how large they were.
See, we had to do it with Grandma, too, because Grandma was the one footing the bill for the back-to-school clothes. So she always went along.
Well, you know, the clothes are going to be hipper then if Grandma is got anything to do with it. What about a little Navy suit for him? Maybe a Navy suit. Hollywood, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. I still have nightmares on Sunday nights that I forgot to do my homework, and then I'll also have dreams that I've forgot to go to a class for an entire semester, and I've got a test coming up. And it's been like 10 years since I've been out of school.
I'm going to tell you something. Those little kids, the Pink Floyd song, liked fucking school more than I did. I was not a fan. I didn't understand the gimmick. I didn't understand why only one person was in charge. It was a nightmare for me.
I have those same dreams that guy has. That's very odd. I didn't know anyone else had those things.
What is your dreams, Fez?
Where it's you just, like, going to school,
right?
But you forget to go to a class, and it's like it's time for the final exam, and you've never been to the class whatsoever.
All right, in your dream, you look at the kid next to you and say, make sure I get some answers or this pencil's going in your neck. Thomas, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, boys.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, when I grew up in California, it was always end of tie season, hello to the coming indica crop, indicated it was time for school to start.
Wow, I would not even know. What was that
tie
like
all summer.
Yeah.
You know, tie summer, indica green in the fall.
Yeah. All right, bro. Fuck California. Oh, weird. Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, guys. How you doing? Big ass card holder 20285.
Hey, buddy.
You know what? Talking about the clothes shopping, to this day, I still get douche chills when I have to go shopping with my wife and kids, and she makes me come along to the point that I take like a 20-ounce Coke, I pour 2 shots of Jack in, it would make her drive.
So you just... now, why do you go along?
Because life's not really peaceful when I'm not there. Number 2, I'm also a truck driver, so when I'm home, she waits to do this shit.
I don't understand.
No, life just sucks that way.
Maybe he's got to follow along because she's put his cock in a change purse. I can't imagine any other reason to want to go along. But this guy actually sits there and has to drink Jack to go along with it. What a nightmare. You know, whoever said that you need brand new clothes for that day? Do you notice that? Like, your mom would never take you out in October, November. At some point, you ought to say, we ought to try and roll these new things out a little bit as the year goes along.
You got them back to school, and Christmas would be it.
Now, for your sister, it would be different, because she would lay out her outfits for the first 2 weeks. I would come down the steps in a pair of shorts. Oh, I thought this was good enough. I don't know. Where's your shirt? I can't get used to it.
it would take so long to do all the back-to-school shopping because my mom would get like a shirt that she liked for me and then see what all else it went with. Like, is this shirt the most usable thing possible in this kid's wardrobe?
What? So when she's in the store, she's putting your pants up against everything?
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, when
mixing and matching.
What's she doing?
Mixing and matching.
When you're in fucking third grade, everything matches. You have no sense of style. You don't give a shit. Just grab shit and go. Just make sure my fucking sneakers look cool. That's all I'm asking for. Here's Sean, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I got a Catholic school nightmare for you. How about never looking forward to any back-to-school crap with mom and dad because it was always green polyester pants and yellow fucking shirts every year.
Yeah, but at least the girls look great in their little uniforms.
Oh, yeah, I always drop the pencil, of
It's
course.
unbelievable how attractive a Catholic girl uniform is to a guy.
My mom always tried, when I went to church school, Lutheran school, my mom always tried to get them to go to a school uniform.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You went to Mel Gibson school, the Lutheran anti-Jew school, where every question had, everything that he answered in school had to be, because the Jews started it. Every answer on his test.
Well, at least that way you get 100.
How's Big Mel Gibson doing?
Mel Gibson, still, I haven't seen him yet, but some of the celebrities starting to speak out in favor of him.
I'd love to hear. I saw Jodie Foster over the weekend, had nothing but good things to say. Who else has popped their head up?
Now, Patrick Swayze is the latest to come out saying Mel Gibson is a wonderful human being and he's not anti-Semitic.
Now, Patrick Swayze, you know Mel Gibson? Please. This is like Anson Williams popping up and trying to get his name involved.
This is like 2 weeks ago when Leah Remini said, I've seen the Tom Cruise baby.
Well, at least they have the connection of going to the same church. I guarantee you that Mel Gibson will get out of rehab, not be able to pick Patrick Swayze out of a lineup.
Patrick Swayze should be sitting there outside waiting to pick him up. Just to get in the papers one more time.
All right, Fez, we were talking back to school. Look who it is on the phone. It's little Lene. Hey, Lene.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez.
What can we do for you, honey?
Nothing. I just wanted to say, well, number one, thanks for the poison tickets. And, Fezzy, I understand and stuff like that. Okay, so you don't have to go. It's okay.
Her little feelings. Are your little feelings hurt, Lene?
No.
Do you wish Fez was there?
No.
You just like free tickets.
It would be nice if he would come, but, I mean, I understand.
Yeah, it sounds like your dad's up to his old tricks.
What's that, Fez?
Of using his daughter to try to guilt me into something.
No.
Sounds like the old Mikey D rearing his afroed head again.
No, it's nothing like that. I don't want to make you go in to the poison concert.
All right, Lene. Nice talking to you, honey.
I'm not done. I'm not done. Hello?
What do you want, honey?
I'm not done.
Tell us all the things that you want to say.
Okay. Okay, give me. Well, it better be front and back, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to be very angry at you. Not Ron and Fez. I'm not talking to you, Ron and Fez. I'm talking to all. So there. And, I want to talk about, like, I know everybody, hates going back to school, but I like going back to school.
All right, Lene.
All right?
Thank you. Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
All right, bye-bye. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here's Greg. Greg, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, with the back-to-school shopping, after my mom would slap on the ironclad lined dungarees or whatever,
yeah.
If they fit, would she grab the front, like the waistband, and the back, and just yank them back?
I remember that. They would stick their hands in your pants and tug back and forth.
They would get a thumb in there, two thumbs.
What did that even mean? What were they trying to do?
I think it was how much give did it have.
So they knew that you were going to get a little fatter and bigger over the year?
Exactly. I'm already in the husky section, so they're checking to see how much room before we make this trip again.
Why not just grab stretch pants for the little fat boys?
feet were practically off the ground.
I forgot about that. It would feel so awful that she would stick her hand in your pants and start tugging back and forth. I remember one time, and remember it would be real crazy with all the moms grabbing clothes? My mom had me change in the aisle.
Oh, that is the worst. Absolute awful.
We couldn't get into the dressing room. She says, just change here. I'm like, all right, fuck. Can't believe how fucking stupid this is. If anybody I know walks by here, I'm stabbing you, old lady.
My mother tried to make me do that once. I practically caused a scene. I was like, I am not dropping my drawers in the middle of a department
I just
store.
fucking did it. I just went with it.
No, I was just like, because you're just self-conscious to begin with, and you're like...
No kidding.
And
you're at that fucking age.
And I had the same fears. It's like,
your cock is like a wick. You're already worried about it.
And you're just terrified that one of your friends is just going to walk by and see you in your tighty whities.
Your stupid underwear.
You're just going to be so horrified.
What do you care? Go ahead. Your mom has no embarrassment about you. None at all.
When my mom takes me clothes shopping, she still does that, wait outside the dress room, and then says, Dave, are you done yet? Are you ready? And I have to do that sheepish walk outside, and I have to spin around.
Oh, wait, Dave, you're 28. Why would your mom take you clothes shopping
She
today?
likes to. And if I'm going to get free clothes, that's fine. But when she's always yelling, Dave, how much time? Let's go.
You know what? Look at the way Dave's dressed today. Like his mom went with him.
Oh, yeah. She picked out this nice golf shirt here. Yeah.
I cannot believe my team. It's just embarrassing. Chew, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy, kid.
Hey, I went to school for about 5 years in a Catholic school, and then we moved and went to a public school. Man, that first day of public school, I was freaking out.
Why?
I didn't have my clothes set out for me. I didn't have the white shirt. I didn't have the blue pants. I didn't have the pennies on. That whole evening, I'm like, oh, my God, what am I going to freaking wear so I don't look like a tool to these people?
Yeah, when you go from Catholic school to public school, it's like pluses and minuses. Number one, the classwork is like for retards suddenly. That basically, if you can get your name up in the right-hand corner, you're going to see. So that's a good move. The other move, though, is, like you said, it's wide open. Suddenly it feels like the Old West, that when there's no rules, you start to find out all the unwritten rules.
Oh, yeah, it's like, okay, so you got new people to meet. Oh, shit, I got to pick clothes out. Oh.
And then don't forget, you've got to interact with blacks. So everything has changed in a big, big way.
I went through that. Church school to public school in the 6th grade is when I made the switch. It was traumatic. I remember the hardest thing for me was a locker. Trying to figure out that damn combination lock on a locker and could never get that damn thing open to get my books out to go to a class.
Brian, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, card 23236.
Hey, buddy.
Hooah! Well, thank you. We were talking about dreading August when the back-to-school sales show up. And I first saw the words back to school in a store this year on July 3rd, which I thought was just ridiculous.
They do start early. And, it's weird, though. I don't know what happens with stores, but they're always selling the next season's clothes.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they feel the need to do this. But, you need to buy a bathing suit in, March, and you need to buy a coat today. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, it's all fall clothes in the windows and the catalogs right now.
July 3rd, they start the back-to-school shit, though.
I think in Florida, school went back today.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're back in school today.
Now, when do they get off down there? March?
I think end of May, mid-May.
What is their point of not going on? It's after Labor Day you start school. What is wrong with that?
That just seems natural to do.
That is natural, because your old man normally gets the Labor Day vacation. That's his vacation.
So I guess they figure it's so damn hot all year round. What's it matter what the 3 summer months are?
Well, it matters so that you can line it up and do family vacations. That's the big gimmick there.
Then it's like when Labor Day does come along, they've already been in school for a month. And like a month-long weekend.
Long weekend.
After a month, you get a long weekend. Like, that's a break.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Hey, Craig, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, boys?
Yeah.
My first of school, I decided to, in kindergarten, cut my own hair. And I went in there looking like a table leg, one side just uneven from the other side.
Why did you cut your hair in school or before?
Before school. I thought I wanted to look good. My mother had laid out, like pretty much the whole Sunday school outfit for me, thinking I was going to look sharp. I decided to wear my ripped jeans, my crappy sweatshirt, and I cut my own hair. I went in looking like a retard, proceeded to tell the teacher, I'm smarter than you, and I'm smarter than everybody in here. I want to go to 6th grade with my sister.
Yeah, well, we can tell you're smart. You cut your own hair, maniac. All right, peace out, dude. I'm sure that little cute story gets his whole family giggling, but since we're not part of that clan, we don't understand it at all. It's always a bad idea, too, and you know it, if you're in kindergarten or 1st grade and your mom attempts to walk you right up to the door. You're like, I can see right now this is going to lead to a beatdown.
I remember when I was a kid, it was one of my only memories of kindergarten. I'm in the hallway. I was like, okay, we're not even through the door yet. I was like, okay, I know I can find the room on my own.
Just get away from me.
Just get as far away.
The last thing you want, for some reason, when you're a kid, is for people to find out you have parents. Because in the back of your mind, you're living with such unhip fucking doofuses that you don't want the rest of the world to see it. You don't want them to see you anywhere with kids. For some reason, it's all right with your neighborhood kids, because you can't get by that. That's what it is. You don't want any of your school friends to see your folks.
I remember how weird it would be if you saw a teacher somewhere other than the school, like in a restaurant or a grocery store or something.
Yeah, it's like saying they're pussy. You cannot believe they're outside there. It just seems far too personal. You suddenly see your teacher pushing around groceries. You're like, what? What the fuck is happening here?
When I found out my 1st grade teacher had a first name, it freaked me out. Because she was friends with my parents, so of course they're calling each other their first names back and forth. And her name was Christine. I remember it just seemed so weird.
I saw my gym teacher, like in 2nd grade, a gym teacher. All it is a man who has a bag of balls. That's all this guy is. And he would have, like those almost leotard pants that he walked around in. I see him on like a Saturday catching a fucking smoke, standing out on a fucking corner. I'm like, Jesus Christ, everything's a lie. I felt like I was in the Matrix. I felt like I found out what reality was.
We had all the male gym teachers. I saw them over the summer in J.C. Penney's, all with jobs in the menswear department. They were selling suits during the summer. So they were all there together. It was very odd, like they move in a pack.
Well, gay guys have a tendency to feel comfortable with each other. Here's John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Fez. Fez, he was talking about having problems with his locker. He's lucky he didn't go to school with us. We would take super glue and super glue the dial on the lock between classes on this guy. And then when that got old, at the end of the day, we would take a roll of tape and wrap his lock and continually break the tape. And you come in the next morning and it would still be covered in tape, and he went home without anything.
Oh, John, you guys were the coolest. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Fuck. Chris, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, back in school, we always had our play jeans and our school jeans. And God forbid you wear your school jeans out to play football and get grass stains on them. It was a nightmare.
My mom would freak out over grass stains. Because your knees would just get so muddy and dirty. And like, you're like, these fucking jeans. You don't understand. You don't understand. I just scored 4 touchdowns. And now I come home and you're screaming. You're screaming at me. We would also play football and stuff in the street, so you would always hit the turf every once in a while and just rip your pants. And then, of course, if you ever wearing Converse, the Chuck Taylors, any basketball would destroy those shoes. You would cut once to your right and literally blow out the fucking shoe.
Yeah, we were even more psychotic. Some of us would actually slide on concrete, and you would just see that big skid mark alongside the Chuck Taylors or the Pro Kids. This big white streak going along it.
Hey, Keith, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey guys, talking about going back to school, I was raised back home in England there, and the last year of high school, we had this kid turned up to school, and his parents had just moved back from South Africa, back to Britain, and this kid shows up for the first day of his last year in school dressed in a goddamn safari suit. He had the shorts and the hat and the whole...
Now, what did he think? What did he think was going to happen to him?
He didn't have any clue that he was crucified from the first day on. His parents must have had their heads so far up their ass to think they could get away with that. This poor kid's life was misery until his mom finally took him shopping about a week or two later and got him some real clothes. He had to spend the first week or two in school in this damn safari suit, man.
I cannot even imagine. First of all, English school, just knowing how bad the lunch is going to be. Just some kind of cold, rotted meat would have me freaking out.
And then he's dressed as Colonel McBragg. Quite.
Chuck, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I just was kind of wondering why nobody touched on hand-me-downs. When I grew up going to school, I had two older brothers, and I got like maybe one, if I was lucky, 2 pairs of new pants, and then got hand-me-down shirts and pants from my older 2 brothers. And then I got like 1 pair of those blue suede Trax tennis shoes that cost like $5. Anybody remember those?
Yeah, those real fucking cheap dogs. They would sell sneakers in a box. There would be a fucking box of sneakers, and your mom was going through there, and you're going, do not pick anything out of that box. You will get me killed. Did you get hand-me-down clothes, Fez?
I got hand-me-down clothes, but not for very long because I was so damn chunky, and Corky, my older brother, was so thin that it just, I mean, by the time he was in 6th grade, I couldn't wear his clothes in 3rd grade.
You're only 3 years difference between you guys?
Oh, actually, 7 between us.
So,
all right, so I got that math wrong.
Because I have the same thing with my brother, but it worked out great for me because my brother was so fucking hip. It was like getting Mickey Rourke's old clothes. I was like way ahead of any fucking bell curve. I'm sitting there wearing a fucking brown leather jacket. What's happening?
Nice. With Corky, it was jeans and flannel shirts. That's all I got. That's all he wore.
Well, it was the grunge age, Fezzy, when you were a child. It was the grunge years.
A little before that. Not much, but a little.
Fezzy has to yell out, I got the years mixed up. So your brother is 7 years older than you.
Yeah.
And you were fatter than him.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, any of his...
He was in 8th grade and you were in 2nd. And you were too big.
And because he was so unbelievably scrawny and I was so chunky that, it just made me wonder if I was adopted.
Grab him his old song, Earl. We haven't really played it since the heart attack. But the song that the neighborhood kids would taunt him with.
Fatty pneumonia!
Fatty pneumonia! Fatty pneumonia! Fatty pneumonia!
Fatty pneumonia!
Fatty pneumonia! Fatty pneumonia! Fatty pneumonia!
Fatty pneumonia!
Fatty pneumonia never left the house.
All the neighborhood kids used to scream and shout.
Hey, look at Fatty staring out the window again.
Fatty always had food, but he never had friends.
Mama never let him out. 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 He was always too sick to go out and play.
Fatty pneumonia!
One day, Fatty made love to a cupcake.
Fatty pneumonia!
One day, Fatty made love to a cupcake.
Fatty pneumonia!
Fatty made love to a cupcake.
Fatty pneumonia!
Fatty made love to a cupcake. Fatty made love to a cupcake. Fatty pneumonia.
Boy, that song's even meaner than I remember.
And I did not make love to a cupcake. I would have remembered that.
It's funny that how kids will find out something that you did and taunt you with it. Talking about that back to school thing, Earl, what was your hearty breakfast every morning before you went to school?
Bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes, really?
One bowl of cornflakes. I still eat it to this day.
Now, do you want a little fruit in there? Do you want to put a little sugar on it?
Oh, I would drown it in sugar.
Yes.
I wanted to kill the vitamin D.
Fez?
If for me, bowl of cereal, not anything healthy like cornflakes. It would be like Captain Crunch or Trix or something like that.
Sure, a bowl of sugar. Bowl of pure sugar. It's like eating a bowl of candy before you run off and go to school. I would like the full breakfast. And I'm saying to my mom, I want a full breakfast. And she would be like, you can't sit around taking your time first thing in the morning. Because I wanted to sit there with the morning paper and a breakfast as if I was in the sidewalk cafe.
Every morning was Sunday morning.
Yeah.
What was your big breakfast?
I didn't want eggs, bacon, toast. Live a little large for myself. I tried to feel like a businessman before I went down and acting like I was going to the bus stop and went straight into the woods, met my friends, and smoked all day.
Oh, there's no way I would eat an egg. No way. Can't have, especially in the morning. No way.
Well, you don't eat eggs at all, right?
Yeah, I do not eat eggs.
What difference does it make whether it's the morning or not? There is a food staple he refuses to eat. He will not eat eggs. What about you, Earl?
I love eggs. But
is there a food staple, like something that people consider part of what everybody would eat, that you don't eat like that?
I don't eat bananas much.
Really?
If at all. I don't eat them.
Talk about a fucking stereotype that's just been ripped out from me.
I had a banana once, and my face completely puffed out, and I started just throwing up. I mean, incessantly. I just threw up.
From a banana?
From a single banana. I don't know if it's an allergy or something, but the weird part was...
Well, yes, when your face puffs up and you start puking, you have an allergy.
Yeah, I mean, it completely bloated up. And
All right, Dave, what about you? Is there a food staple that you are allergic to?
Mayo. Mayo, and I will go so far as to eat the tuna fish out of a can with a spoon. As a kid, I thought it was gross, and then as an adult, it reminds me of jizz. So I'm not going to have any part of mayonnaise, ever.
Are you just done with it?
I'm done with it.
Normally, I found that most people who have a mayo thing were abused as kids. And I'm not fucking with you about that.
Yeah.
And everything about your personality makes me feel like you're abused.
It's a possibility. I'm going to have to look into it. It really haunts me to this day.
By look into it, do you mean your ass?
Yes.
Oh. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's like, I won't eat bread. I'll never have bread. I mean, I understand dodging some vegetables when you're a kid. But to just give up a staple of any diet, that's just shocking to me. James, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Good morning, Ron and Fezzy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. I was going to say, Black Earl there won't eat bananas, but it reminds him too much of the white cock.
Ouch. Sorry about that, Earl.
Is that the reason, Earl?
White people are so scared of black people.
I'm just going to blame that call on racism, Earl, and leave it at that. Just blame it on racism. Here is, let me go to Jerry. Jerry, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, boys. Hey, back in third or fourth grade, when I was in Catholic school, my mom decided that my brother and I would look really good in saddle shoes. Remember them? The cheerleaders wore them?
I remember saddle shoes, yeah. Because I guess that they were big in the 50s or something, and then occasionally they would try to bring them back, but no other generation would pick that up for males.
Yeah, white shoes with black tops on them.
Yeah. I think Pat Boone wore saddle shoes or something.
My brother and I had them and all the cheerleaders in school, and we were abused about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, kids just look for anything at all to fucking spot the weak link. Spotting the weak link, a set of glasses will bring a pummeling down. Here is Eric. Eric, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm allergic to pork products. I cannot touch anything made with pork. I just break out in hives, and I get horribly sick from it.
Well, Eric, I'm sure Mel Gibson would have something to say about that. I'm sure Mel Gibson would love to talk to you. Steve, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Chicken. You hate that damn chicken.
Now, how can anyone go through life in the United States of America and hate chicken? It's like hating a hamburger.
Oh, hamburgers rule, but chicken, that is the nasty, unless it's cooked like bacon. I mean, you cook it so it's like almost unrecognizable, then I'll eat it.
You like crisp chicken?
Crisp chicken, beyond, I mean, almost cremated, so crisp.
All right, thanks, man. Buck, you're on Ron and Fez.
Peanut butter, man. Can't stand it, buddies.
You hate peanut butter?
Yeah, can't eat it in ice cream, can't eat it in candy, can't eat it by yourself. I like peanuts, but peanut butter is disgusting.
I can't imagine. Now, little kids love peanut butter, except for the little kids today, because if they eat peanut butter, they die. I don't know where the peanut allergies have come from. Did kids have it when you were younger, Fez?
I don't ever remember a kid having a peanut allergy.
Yeah. Now, people that I've worked with, all their kids are allergic to peanuts. So bad that if they're near a peanut, they could die.
Oh, yeah, it's notes to school, and the cafeteria's got to be worn. Not, there can't be a cookie that's had peanut oil near it or anything.
Right. All the mothers end up getting things. If you're going to make cookies, can't be peanuts. Stop it with the peanut. And I would always go, what about M&M peanuts? No peanuts. Can't do a peanut. Brady, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
The one thing that will ruin any food for me is ketchup. Always hated it.
I'm not a huge ketchup fan on everything, because to me, ketchup makes everything taste like ketchup. It's not like it accents the flavor, it takes the flavor over.
I love things doused in ketchup. The things that I eat with ketchup, I douse it.
Right, that's because that's what you like, the ketchup taste. So it doesn't matter what you're eating, what you really like is ketchup.
The only thing it won't work for me is eggs. I will not eat an egg whatsoever.
Especially in the morning. BT, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
I had a college roommate who claimed he had a peanut allergy, and we thought it was the funniest goddamn thing. I would fly in from school on Southwest Airlines. We put the peanuts on his bed, on his desk. He would flip out, saying he could die. If he touched the oil, he would, swell up and choke. Well, how the world plays mean tricks on you. We, about 10 years later, my daughter now has a peanut allergy. We gave her some peanut butter. She almost died.
Yeah, I would love to know where this allergy came from.
It's weird.
It just swept the nation.
Yeah.
And all these kids have it, and it's not like poison ivy. It's like a serious thing. And peanuts was always the main thing in candy and stuff like that in this country.
I wonder if the peanuts have changed somehow. That now they're affecting the kids.
Interesting. Something in the way that they grow the peanuts, the corporate style. That's interesting. That maybe that there's something else in there, because all of our foods taste differently. You know what I mean? All of our foods have gotten fucked over. It's only within like the last 30, 40 years that you were able to get like an orange off season, or watermelon is always in the supermarket now. The bad side of that is you never get a great watermelon. You never get those watermelons that used to come once a year that were just killer. The cantaloupe would be just killer. The corn would be killer. Now you can get it all year long, but it's real bland, and like watermelon doesn't even have a taste anymore.
Yeah, and they're not as red as they used to be either. They're like a lot paler, I think, than they used to be.
Here is Megan. Megan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I do not like juice. Apple juice, orange juice, grapefruit juice. As a kid, my mother would give it to me. I would hate it, and all I would drink was soda. To this day, all I drink is soda.
What about orange juice? Nice pulpy orange juice. Remember how big the pulp used to feel to you when you were a little kid? Pulp was so gross to a kid. And now you can barely taste it. I don't know what happens between childhood and adulthood, but everything that used to gnarl you just goes out the window.
Orange juice pulp used to be as gross as shredded coconut. That's what it had, that same texture.
Matt, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you, Ron, about the ketchup. Ketchup, what if you put it on? It's just a vessel for ketchup. French fries, a vessel for ketchup.
Right. It just becomes, it no longer is the potato taste. That's why when you go out to a fine restaurant, you don't get a bottle of ketchup.
No, you got
Because-
a fucking huge thing of it.
In the food world, ketchup is just ketchup, no matter what you put it on. Here is Allie. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hi.
Hey.
I won't eat anything milk or butter.
You hate milk and butter?
Yeah, I want nothing to do with it.
Now, were you like that when you were a little kid?
Yep.
What-
I'm actually better now than I used to be, but I still, if it even hints of it, I want nothing to do with it.
What about buttermilk? Have you ever tried that? You love it.
Not a chance.
They'll cancel each other out for you.
What do you put on toast?
Sometimes margarine, but it has to be covered. Like,
Oh,
it
margarine.
Can't taste like, it can't be even margarine. Like, it can't taste like it.
Now, is your problem the cow tit? Is that what grosses you out?
No.
You
No,
sit
I
around
just
thinking
haven't
about cow
had
tit all
the
day?
Nah. Maybe sometime.
All right, talk to you later, honey. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Saul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Ronnie Fezzy, how you guys doing?
Hey, buddy.
I want to have nothing to do with rice. It looks like roach eggs. And it's
Tappy, you're doing it again, just to point it out to you. Rice?
rice.
What about sushi?
Nope. Can't do raw fish either.
People always bring that up, and then you try to find where they would possibly eat rice.
Rice Krispies?
Nothing to do with rice. It looks like egg roaches. Egg roaches is disgusting.
Earl, you're not a sushi guy either, are you?
No, I don't like seafood in general. I just never, which is odd because my father loves seafood and we are carbon copies of one another. But he loves seafood. I never got into seafood at all.
What's he like? Fried shrimp?
Yes,
that's good.
It was like crab cakes and lobster too. He loves.
Now you
that
fucking got me starving. Seriously.
Sorry.
I will walk out of this place. I'll go to Shelley's. Cliff, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Miss Mama Fez. Buttered popcorn, man. Even the smell of it makes me want to puke.
What is your problem with buttered popcorn?
I don't know. Since I was a kid, I was about 10 years old. I went to a movie and ate buttered popcorn, and I puked. And I think ever since then, if I smell, like when you go into a convenience store, you smell somebody popping it.
Yeah.
If I smell that, I'll go outside and puke.
No, you can eat regular popcorn.
Yeah, oh yeah, all day.
It's just buttered. Now, buttered, I won't get that stuff at the theater anymore, too. That will make me sick after
that
eating a
liquid
bucket of that
butter, just
fake
disgusting.
buttered popcorn. But it also really changes the texture. So instead of having that crunchy thing, it's this soggy little deal.
Oil sog.
Larry, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Dude, I can't eat vegetables or fruit. The texture of them make my skin crawl. And it sucks because I really like the flavors of them. But those textures just freak me out.
Now, have you tried, eating them different ways, cooked different ways?
The older I've gotten, I can eat more vegetables if they're cooked. But, like, as a kid, my mom would have to strain spaghetti sauce to get, like, the onions and pepper chunks out of it.
Yeah.
I just confused with that.
She would have to strain it. Why would she just cook you some on the side? It's not that difficult. When you're a little kid, I don't know any little kid who's been forced into liking a vegetable, and they attempt to do it all the time.
Oh, yeah, it's always eat this. Your dad likes them or something like that. Eat these peas.
Or you can't get up until you're finished, and they try and force you to eat a vegetable. And I don't know one person who said, after my parents forced me to eat turnips, now I love them. Now, the weird thing is, again, as years go by, you will start eating those things that you didn't like when you were younger. I didn't like seafood when I was a kid. I love it now. I didn't like vegetables when I was a kid. I can eat vegetables now. I think it's because your tastes go away the older you get. That when you're younger, it's like every taste bud, it's just everything pops on your tongue. It's so explosive.
I grew into tomatoes. Could not eat a tomato or anything, really. Any sort of chunky tomato whatsoever, or on a sandwich. Now I can eat tomatoes all the time. Got no problem there.
There's a perfect example.
Going to that. Still can't eat a mushroom. Hate a mushroom.
What about a portobello?
No. That's even worse because it's like a bigger mushroom.
It's a big mushroom. You throw it on a roll. You eat it like a sandwich. Order some mushroom sandwiches for Fez. What about psilocybes? You ever trip on mushrooms?
No.
Got chew right through the cow shit. Next thing you know, hey, where's the rest of that music?
I don't know. I think it's because I realize, excuse me, like a mushroom, I see it as it is, like a fungus.
It's a fungus growing out of shit, though. So it's really delicious.
Yuck.
Just think of it as a shitty fungus. Now, outside Philly, there used to be mushroom houses, and you could smell them forever.
I didn't even know a mushroom had a smell.
No, the shit has a smell. It's all shit that's piled up in there, and then the mushrooms grow on top of it. So the guys who work in there are just basically pulling mushrooms off shit all day.
With a mushroom, it's not even so much the taste as it is the texture that gets to me.
Ian, you're on Ron and Fez.
I will not eat potatoes in any way.
Fries, mashed potatoes?
Nothing.
Nice baked one?
Nothing at all. And Ron, don't you know the best mushrooms are grown in people's basements, in giant bins? Nobody grows them in shit anymore.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here's Jim. Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron and Fez.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid, I absolutely loved corn on the cob.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as you take it off the cob, I hate it. I don't know why.
Well, you know what? I mean, the thing is, one is fresh, and the other is canned corn. When you really think about it, you probably had some pretty good taste for yourself as a youngster.
That probably, and it does have two different tastes between cob and can.
John, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead, John. Lost you, buddy? Let me try to get you. Here's Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Definitely allergic to chocolate. Love it, but I'm definitely allergic to it.
So every time you eat chocolate, you could die.
Growing up, I used to just get like fever blisters, nose sores and stuff. About 30 years ago, I hadn't eaten it for 4 or 5 years. My brother-in-law made homemade chocolate ice cream. I said, shit, I got to have some. Let me tell you something. It takes 2 days. I just start flu symptoms. Next day, second day, I'm swelled up. Took 2 shots to get my neck. I almost had to do a tracheotomy on me.
Thanks, man. Here is Anthony. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
You guys hear about the guy on Long Island who was allergic to peanuts, and his girlfriend had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and kissed him, and the guy died?
Yeah, that ended up not being true. That was the initial thing
really?
that they thought. Yeah, and then they looked into it, and it turned out that wasn't true at all. Because I believed that story when it came out.
Yeah, as like something right out of X-Men. I think that happened in Canada, that story.
Yeah, but it turned out, again, like we just said, not to be true anyway. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez. Mike. Oh, let me try it, man. This is having trouble with these phones. Mike, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Yeah.
I hate pickles. I can't stand them. I can't stand the smell. Pickle juice gets all over your hands. It doesn't go away. They throw it on cheeseburgers when you go to Burger King and stuff. I can't even eat the burger if the pickle's already been on it.
You know, I'll throw that in. I'm not crazy about having the pickle on the burger because, again, you bite into it, it just tastes like pickle. But I do like a pickle on the side. And I like seeing barrels of pickles.
I like a pickle, but I don't like a gherkin. I like any other kind. I like a dill or a bread and butter.
You don't like a little sweet gherkin?
No.
Baby gherkin?
No, I do not like that flavor whatsoever.
Yeah. Earl, you know what we probably need is like the old-fashioned phone bank is what I like to do. So I'm not sitting here with this little computer mouse.
Okay, we'll definitely make some calls and make that happen.
Anthony?
The reason is, like, if you're mad at somebody, you can't just slam down, mouse down, and get out of it. I like just bang, 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 bang.
You like a human touch.
I like a human touch to it. It's very good, Earl. All right, let's take a break. Right back, Ron and Fez.
Ronnie, Fezzy, the Ron and Fez Show, XM 202.
Show. 866-RUN-0-FEZ. 866-RUN-0-FEZ. Earl, I see we got that CD in from Mike Zito.
Yes, his new CD.
He's going to be out at Sturgis, right?
Yeah, that's the big biker fest out in South Dakota, I believe.
Yeah. Did you just call it a biker fest?
Biker. Did I say biker? That is hack. I suck. Oh, my God.
Oh, by the way, I heard, my emails blew up over the weekend. Earl did a walk-on on the Eddie Trunk show, playing the light metal. What songs did you pick for yourself?
I think it was Aerosmith.
Yeah. Why could you be there the night Axl Rose was in? Why are you hanging around with it?
You know what happened?
Yeah.
I could have hung out with him the night that he said, "Hey, why don't you come and hang out?" And I said no, and that was the night Axl showed up.
So you should have been there.
I really suck. So yeah, Eddie was just hanging out, and kind of segued right into his show. He says hello.
That's it. No, I love you guys.
No, of course. He's like, I miss my boys.
Yeah, I love when people say that they love us. That's my favorite thing. And then another. We can't even talk about it on the air. Another broadcasting company approaches Earl, trying to get information about the Ron and Fez show.
Really?
Yeah. So this was Earl's first time of dealing with that, someone attempting to get information and you don't want to give up too much. And he calls me on Saturday, and he's like, it puts me in a really awkward position. I go, it's the position of producer. You're supposed to play that thing out.
Let me guess, Earl, you sang. You sang like a canary. You gave up everything.
Oh, the exact opposite. I didn't say.
He ended up looking at the Yankees game while they kept talking.
I watched.
Ron and Fez aren't appreciated over there. They just crossed the street with us. Believe me, things would be going well for them.
I watched Sports Center and Pulp Fiction. I didn't say a word. I was just sitting there like a church mouse.
Oh, we'd have them drinking champagne and farting through silk. I'm telling you right now. You tell Ron and Fez we've got big ideas, big plans.
Giambi's up. Not saying a word. Giambi's up.
The funny thing about this business is everybody that you don't work for tells you how great you are. That's the beauty of this business. That if you really need to talk to somebody, it's not the people that you talk with, not the people that you work with. It's strangers. Oh, believe me right now, if I tell you, we'd build everything around you. Why, you and Fez would have separate microphones.
Who can turn that down?
Like limo rides to and from the studio.
Sure. Living like stars you obviously are. Why, you're not appreciated now.
Oh, you have no idea how true that conversation
If you came over here to Acme Broadcasting, I only know that's true because I've heard it a million times in my life. The only people that like you are the ones that aren't paying you. And then the moment they start paying you, they take you for granted.
Yeah, but it was God, that conversation was almost word for word.
Yeah, they all are. That's why. What do you need Fez for? Why, right now, we have plans for you. You'd have a plastic Fez. Space-age plastics.
Foot rubs for everybody. The group Hispanics Across America have started a campaign asking fans not to boo the Yankees' Alex Rodriguez, saying that's only going to hurt his performance.
I'm going to start something where we won't boo any white players. How does that? Now, Earl, why does that seem like it makes you mad? It's the same deal.
No, I'm not.
If you're supporting someone just for their ethnic background.
I mean, that's the whole thing is crazy. Part of being a fan is the pleasure of booing your favorite player when they screw up.
Other than if they're the same color.
No, just booing any
Look,
player.
I'm from Philadelphia. The greatest white ball player ever was Mike Smith. We used to throw shit at him.
Yeah,
we made him feel terrible for himself.
Yeah,
Is there a celebrity that you always root for? You find yourself just, no matter how bad off they are?
Jesus. No matter what Jesus does, I'm behind him. That's why I go to chapel. To pray to Jesus.
That's usually on Wednesdays.
Christ. You know what I call church, actually?
What?
The home of my imaginary friend. An invisible man lives here.
I think the person I always cheer for, I will always check out an Andy Richter sitcom. I think he's had like 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I will always check one out, and then they're always bad, and they go off the air within the first 2 or 3 episodes. But I will always give Andy Richter a chance.
Because he's white?
Yeah, and it's Whites Across America. That's their campaign.
Ron and Fez Show, 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. Dave told me he got in a little trouble over the weekend. What's happening, David?
Nothing. Well, it was my grandmother's 95th birthday.
Wow, 95 years young.
Unbelievable.
Just wonderful, huh?
And she's such
mom's dad's mother, who was it?
It's my mom's mom.
Yeah, what'd I say? Mom's dad? No. It's the dad or mom?
It's my mom's mother.
And what do you call her?
I call her Grandma. A very original name.
Hello, Grandma. Do you remember me? Dave.
Yeah, I guess it's not very original, but, what can you do?
It's better than having a peepaw or whatever these stupid people call their...
She probably calls you David.
She does. She always thought I looked like David Cohn as well, so...
Really? The guy who jacked off in the...
Mets bullpen there.
So maybe that's why she thinks you look like him. You both have your dicks out and just working it.
True. We got, so I sent her a card, on Tuesday or something, and it arrived to her house, her apartment on Saturday. She still lives by herself.
Still lives alone?
Yeah.
Over in Jersey?
Mm-hmm. She,
listening to Springsteen albums?
No, but she's very, self-sufficient. So I thought she was just going to open up the card by herself, maybe at her little favorite diner that she always goes to. I didn't realize she was going to be opening up in front of my parents. And the card was one of those wacky cards, I admit. And the front of it said, you may be getting up there. And then you open it up, and it said, but I know the fire's still burning. And there was a picture of 2 scantily clad firemen, just with fire hats and suspenders on with big, huge hoses. They did have little tiny briefs, but I thought that would be fun. It was very oily.
It would be cute, and here's something sexy even though you're 95.
Yeah, she grew up in the roaring 20s.
Sure.
And I thought she'd like a little fire and a little, hot men there. And when she opened it up, of course, it was with my mom on Sunday dinner pot roast. And my mom is so unbelievably pissed off at me, thinking I'm a degenerate and everything like that, and was basically saying, how could you possibly send this to Grandma? She's totally innocent here. And I said,
she's not totally innocent. She lived a life. And it's like a fun little card.
It's a fun card. She's a drinker. She's one of the most fun women I've ever met.
It's not like you wrote to her, dear Grandma, how's your dried up old gas? You're saying, look, here, you're still involved, fireman.
The fire.
I am never on your side, and I see nothing wrong with this.
Really? Thank you.
I know. You would think that I would yell at you. Yeah. I just think all cards stink. And there's nothing wrong with that one.
The selection of birthday cards is so pitiful.
Oh, it's awful.
You can't get anything good, so I thought sweat hot sex for Grandma. And she's...
Because it's the exact opposite of what everybody else would do.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
She's hip.
Why don't you tell your mother to mind her own business?
I can't say that to Mommy.
Why not? You're 28.
Mommy's like...
She's taking you shopping, and she yells at you for inappropriate cards.
But my mom is like a mini version of Grandma, so I love them both. So I
Give her the same card on her birthday, then.
Well, no, because my grandfather passed away, so my mom doesn't need men in her life. She's got Daddy.
Yeah. So why don't you write to your grandmother, remember when your husband was alive?
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Earl sent a slave thing to his grandmother.
Oh, I did not.
Scantily clad.
And then my mom gets mad after the card. She goes, Wally and Mark gave her a DVD player.
Well, yeah, that would be nice.
Well, they're also 10 years older than I am and can afford stuff.
And it has nothing to do with age. Most people 28 can come up with a present. Why don't you give her a beautiful Anderson Cooper book?
I'd love to give her Anderson Cooper. She actually watches television all the time. She watches Conan.
I know. She's got that DVD player, though.
She watches Conan thinking Eastside Dave's on TV.
Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Dave. When it comes to pornography, you can share that with your friends, but you can't share it with your family. The only thing you can share with your family is a prostitute, and then it's only with your wife or your siblings.
I really don't see the big deal.
The fire's still burning.
It's like a cute, stupid card. There was no balls showing. There was no reason to get upset. Bob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ron. The thing is that Dave's grandma beat the odds, made it to a ripe old age of 95, and her cheap bastard of a grandson spends $2 on a Hallmark card.
What do you want to get someone who's 95?
Honestly, what can you get?
What are you going to get, a razor? What are you going to fucking get?
I think my fireman card was better than my brother's DVD player because she's never going to figure out how to get that thing plugged in.
The only thing that you can give somebody that old is jelly. Here's some jellies. All different jellies.
And she's a quintessential grandmother. She still has hard candy. It's like every stereotype of a grandma. She has that old woman perfume and fur coats. And look at my new fur coat. And she likes brooches and shit.
Just drinking Tullamore one after another. Smoking Pall Malls in the living room.
Like, is there one stereotype that you don't fulfill?
My Davy was hard as nails. And he didn't get that from his father. Just some Irish woman, just tough as hell. We used to sleep on the docks next to the fishmongers. I know those old ladies.
Yeah, she's the best. She always says,
let me tell you, there wasn't a single doctor for a Catholic in those days. And those English fuckers knew it. Oh, how they hate the English.
Yeah. And she goes, is there any way I can hear you on the Ron and Fred show? And I say, no, you have to pay for it. I'm not paying for it.
Did you correct
I'm not
her?
paying for it. Give me a CD.
The hell with that. When I got to this country, we never paid for a goddamn thing, and I ain't about to start.
And then I used to work overnights at a radio station, and I would say, she goes, when can I listen to you? And I would say, you can listen to me, well, I'm on midnight to 5. And I know you watch Conan, so that's perfect. I have to watch Conan. That's when I watch Conan, and then I go to bed. She wouldn't choose me over Conan.
They have a fucking thing that they're into. 3 shots of Tullamore Dew, 2 Pall Malls. They pass out sitting up.
And she calls Letterman a goofball. I'm like, how come you always watch Conan and not Letterman? Letterman's a goofball. Don't care for him. Lots of yelling, lots of just nonsense with Letterman.
There was a story about a colored guy who raped a girl. Where is it? They always have some horror story. They want to bring. Did you see about that lady who drowned her babies?
They actually took her to Yankee Stadium last summer, and this was, swear to God, she wasn't, exaggerating or anything like that. She proudly gets up and says to, the whole section, last time I was here, Lou Gehrig was over at first base. And it's like, wait a second.
Well, you ought to get out more then, old lady. There's no reason for you to go to a game once every 50 years.
No, that's her fault.
Right.
They invited her, by the way, for 25 years, so don't
Last time I was in a movie, it was Pete Kelly's Blues. Unbelievable. So you did nothing wrong this time, believe it or not.
Thank you. Well, I'm trying to give her some joy. I'm trying to mix it up.
Get her some jams and jellies. Anything sweet she can put on her Melba toast in the morning.
My grandmother died when she was almost 99, and I think
You took that well.
Not really. And I think every gift for the last 10 years of her life was either slippers or cheese.
And wait, and how hokey are those cards where it's like from your grandson in huge cursive, and there's like a print background of a beach behind it, and it's like, you are such a wonderful one. It's so fucking insincere.
My gimmick is, if anybody gives me one of those cards, I read it out loud and act like my voice is cracking because it's so fucking bad. And I always turn it over and go like this. Oh my God, $3.45. You never should have. Oh, you had a better deal than if you were in Canada. What a fucking waste of money. $4 now.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Mine was $4.25 for the little fireman exhibition.
You throw in another $196, you can get her a nice little DVD player.
My grandmother always likes those sentimental cards, but the ones that say a grandmother is a blessing from God.
Do you have any grandparents left now?
No, all gone.
Now it's gone. You, Earl?
Mine are all gone.
Yeah. So you're lucky.
Just one, yeah, down to one.
Just got the single, huh?
And she seems very youthful. I mean, she takes a walk around the lake.
Yeah, she's very useful. She's 95.
But I mean, she's able to walk around the lake and stuff. And you know what she does sometimes? She will leave church, Saturday afternoon church at 4:00 in the afternoon,
and go blow up a public school bus
because she doesn't want to get into a cab. She'll actually go into strangers' cars and say...
And shit?
No, she goes, "Are you my grandson, David? I don't see so well." And, yeah, like...
To get people to drive her home?
To drive her, like a half a mile away, she'll get into strangers' cars. And the reason why is because I just got a new car. I go, "There's my fucking grandma over there." I picked her up. She hopped in the back seat and goes, "Oh, do you know my grandson, David? He was going to pick me up." And she didn't realize it was me because she does have vision problems. And I go, "Grandma, what are you doing?" And we learned she told us her whole con job of getting people to give her a ride home by just hopping in their car sporadically.
Wow. That's scary.
That is, she doesn't care at all.
I am, but some people out there, they rape the elderly. Read a fucking paper. They rape the elderly.
And she does that at the ice cream store. She goes to the ice cream store and says, it's too long of a walk back. Can one of you," and she asks the 15-year-olds or 17-year-old kids working behind the stand at the ice cream shop to give her a ride home.
One of these days they're going to hit her over the head with a lamp and take what little she has.
She only has M&Ms.
At her house?
Yes.
I bet there is some jar in there with at least $600 in. I guarantee it. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Now, I had an uncle, my grandfather's brother, down in Eddystone. He'd go out, get fucking hammered, right? Call the cops, say, "Take me home." He used to use the local cops as a taxi service, and they would fucking take him.
They had no problem with it.
What are they going to do?
I think that's really the one good thing about age. It's like you don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, you don't care. Every cop looks like a kid to you. The president looks like a kid. You realize that the whole country's the wheels come off.
Yeah.
So you stop caring.
And you're not going to get arrested. You basically go ahead, arrest me. Take me to prison.
Right.
I'm 85.
Right.
What are you going to do?
You leave the old lady leaves the house wearing a house coat. She don't give a shit what society wants and doesn't want anymore.
And if the cops did arrest them, they would look like maniacs in the paper. Cops arrest 95-year-old woman.
How are you going to get out of this now, Dave? You going to get another present or another card? Or you just going to let it die over?
I'm going to send a straight-up card. Just the typical grandmother, "I love you so much. Your grandson, David."
Sorry, I'm right at the back. Sorry, my funny card wasn't good enough for you.
And I might get her a little pin.
By the way, I hope Conan dies. Why does she love Conan so much?
I don't know.
Is it an Irish thing?
She's
happy to see the Irish do well. Does she like Notre Dame football?
Well, Fez is kind of right. She does like anyone who has red hair because they remind her of me, and so she's like an instant supporter of that.
Like if you were successful.
Exactly.
Like if you weren't such a disappointment.
She loves that CSI Miami with David Caruso.
Loves it.
That's the #1 show in the world right now. CSI Miami.
Really?
Worldwide, yeah. Bigger than any other show exported out here. I have no idea why. Maybe people like murder and they like to see, Miami Beach. But around the world, that's the #1 show.
I've never checked it out.
Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ronnie, man, I was going to say, I'm 34 years old, man. I still today, when I get a car, the first thing I do is open it up and turn it over. Now, I also want to ask you, we in today with Black Girl?
I didn't even hear what he said. He just faded out.
Here's Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how are you? I just wanted to point out that Dave started the story talking about his grandmother being all old traditional with the hard candy, and then about 2 minutes ago he busts out that she only has M&Ms. He's making this crap up.
That is true. Seriously,
hard candy and M&Ms.
Do not lie.
This is total true.
Ron, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Don't worry about that.
I want to tell you about Nanny Lucy. She's 98 years old. Condos take her to the casino in Connecticut at least twice a month. She runs out of quarters. She cons people throughout the casino into giving them quarters. Begs for quarters.
Begs for
at 98
quarters.
Years old.
God bless her. God bless her. That's what everyone always says about the elderly. Oh, God bless her heart. I'll go down to Atlantic City, and it's so fucking elderly.
Yeah.
It's awful how they take money from those old people.
That's
Just
the
terrible.
point.
Yeah. You know what makes me feel bad? I didn't even realize this. We're bringing up grandparents and all. And I look over and the Flash is there, and he's adopted.
Oh, yeah.
He's like Mickey when he on the Little Rascals when they had the father and son picnic, and he just starts crying and goes like this: "You fellas know I ain't got a father." Then later he killed his own wife and got away with it. Got away with it. Grandparents are, you know, the people that gave you away, Flash?
No, I don't.
Well, you know someone gave you away, right? Someone left you on the doorstep? They have parents. So
yes.
That's what grandparents are.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're the people who probably gave away the people who gave you away.
So this was a hereditary thing of abandonment.
Maybe, I don't know. I got to explain everything to him like Mark and Mindy. He just doesn't understand how things work. Here is Eric. You're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, Dave said his grandmother likes to go for walks around the lake, so you probably appreciated the card he gave. I mean, $20 will blow you in the bushes, is what I hear.
Oh, man, that's awful.
Now, see, that would have been inappropriate.
Jesus Christ.
Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
29875.
Hooah!
Hey, Eastside, did you have to name the firemen Big Cheese and Friendly?
Big Cheese, I sent him a thing for this T-shirt company that sells Big Cheese T-shirts. You going to pick one up?
I ordered it already. 15 days. 15 days. My big is bright yellow with the guy just sawing cheese. And it says Big Cheese. It's the best.
Did you tell your chick about this yet?
No. No, I haven't.
You never tell her that you told us?
No, I won't be doing that anytime soon whatsoever.
Why?
It would be uncomfortable if she knew these things, you know.
Hey, this is a weird story. I got a friend in Daytona Beach. They go to a restaurant the other day, right? They pull up, and there's, pulling up behind them, 6 midgets on motorcycles. So it's a motorcycle midget thing, right? They get out of their car. The fucking midgets walk up to them and go like this. You know you cut us off over there? Starts giving them fucking shit. The whole family got back in the car and drove away. They got chased away from a restaurant by a midget motorcycle gang.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
In Daytona, it's not so weird. Daytona, that's normal. Oh, by the way, for Mike Zito, Daytona is Sturgis with a beach. If there was something to do with Sturgis, it would be Daytona.
I actually agree with that. I would be horrified with midgets. I'm very frightened of them. I'd rather see a gigantic person than a midget any day of the week. They scare the shit out of me.
Why do they scare you?
The fingers are just too thick, and everything about them. Their thighs, if you ever get close to...
All right, now you're talking about a dwarf.
Am I, or is it...
Yeah. When a midget, same size, everything's in proportion. Dwarf, you got that big torso, big man-sized cock.
It just seems like they have some evil powers
Why would
somehow.
What evil powers exist in this magical place that you live?
If they're so cursed to be pint-sized...
Whoever said they were cursed?
I'm saying it. I'm saying that if they're made small, they have to have some sort of attribute that makes them powerful in some kind of... I'm just telling you. I'm pretty sure that they probably have psychic powers. Or
Are you
something.
afraid you're going to catch dwarfism?
No, I just...
Now, what is the term that we use now?
Small people?
Little people.
Little people.
Is the term. To me, the thing about that is you might as well just call them babies. It's just, I don't think I would want to be called a little person.
That's what you are, you know? You're little. I mean...
I mean, they go out of it because they hated the other term, dwarf.
How about minis? They should probably be called minis, because now that I think... I mean, Danny DeVito's a little person.
Yeah, he is, but he's not a midget, right? Or a dwarf.
Right.
So
he's at the cutoff. He's like what, 4'9",
Yeah, 4'11", I think.
No way is he 4'11".
Oh, I thought so. I'm pretty sure.
Flash, see if you can look up height on Danny DeVito.
4'9".
I think he's closer to 4'9" than 4'11".
I wonder, well, I'd like to know what is the cutoff of when you're medically or officially declared a midget.
Yeah.
And I bet Danny DeVito doesn't make the cutoff. I bet he is considered a midget.
No, he definitely isn't. Because I think he was asked before on a talk show. And he got fucking upset about it. I think, like, if you see midgets or even handicapped people, I say stare at them and make them feel like celebrities. Sometimes I'll even go over and ask if they'll sign something.
See, I don't think it makes them feel like celebrities.
Why would you feel like a celebrity?
I think you would feel like, oh my God, someone's staring at me because of my medical disability.
Right. Celebrating it.
According to IMDb, Danny DeVito is 5 feet even.
Bullshit.
Yeah, see? 4'11", I said.
You know he's not.
Right rules, I win.
You know what? I mean, I'll go 4'11" before ever fucking 5 foot. There's no way in the world he's 5 foot.
I was going to say 4'9". I was going to say 4'9", but...
I mean, here's the thing. You know that he's lying when he says he's 5 feet. And that's really embarrassing.
Maybe he was wearing Doc Martens when he got measured there. He probably cheated somehow.
Well, first of all, no one measures you to get you in the IMDb.
Well, how would you volunteer that information up anyway, then?
Other people write it. You don't.
Well, how would the other people get that stat?
Exactly. That's the fucking point. The point of my anger. My wrath. Peter, you're on Ron and Fez.
What kind of bikes were those midgets riding anyway? Mini bikes, mopeds? Just put the car in reverse, stand on it, problem over.
Shark, thank you very much. I did not even check to find out what kind of bikes they had going. And Jenny Q would never call the show, and obviously her husband and her family were embarrassed by this and were setting back.
You could have gotten them bikes made for children and then put adult engines on them. You know, just rewire them, hotwire them. You know what I
I'd
mean?
have fucking jumped into that fray like I was Andre the Giant. Just chucking midgets one way or the other.
Chokeslammed.
But, you know, 6 of them yelling at you, it would be a little bit fucking scary, I'm sure.
All of it's unnerving. The motorcycles, the fact that they followed you into a restaurant parking lot.
And then also, I probably wouldn't have went into the restaurant anyway, because how can you eat after?
No, their fingers are all everywhere.
What do you mean fingers are everywhere?
Their little midget fingers are everywhere.
Well, they don't go everywhere. They're right there on the end of their hands.
They're dirty little animals.
Why do you got? What are you heading for a shock jock thing?
No, they're scary. Trust me.
Well, I've seen them before. I'm not frightened.
Have you seen a pack of them? I mean, I can't believe the horror that would be inflicted on the brain.
Well, you know, I saw The Wizard of Oz, if that means anything to you. By the way, every one of those midgets is dead now. I think of that every time I watch that show. That entire village has got to be dead.
You can't be too big in this world or too small. You don't get the long lifespan.
Mindy, you're on Ron and Fez. I thought it was better to burn out than fade away and just go out as part of the Lollipop League. Go ahead, Mindy.
Hey, guys. I was just going to say that I saw Danny DeVito at a Broadway show several years ago, and I'm 5 foot, and he was about my height.
All right. God, he comes off for some reason looking shorter on TV.
I think Danny DeVito and Mindy are both fibbing about their height.
I wish I wasn't.
Let me just check on this. Did you use the word fibbing?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you a fib a little later. Just a little fib. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ.
I wonder how tall Rhea Perlman is.
He towers over her. She's got to be the 4'9".
Well, then...
Yeah, what was I thinking? She would have been like 4'4" if he was 4'9". I was really...
4'4" with the afro, or just...
It's not an afro. You've got to be African to have an afro.
A white afro.
Well, that's... What would afro
what do you call it?
stands for African, right?
Yeah.
So unless you're South African, are the only ones who can say they're white afros. Hey, Bo, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie. How you, Fezzy? Hey, Ronnie, how many midgets can you beat up at one time?
I'm going to tell you right now, I believe it to be an infinite amount. A fucking infinite amount. And yes, I'm looking at you, Skylo Low, and Bring Little Beaver. I don't give a fuck. CJ, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, the CJ.
Yes, that's why I said your name.
Hey, do what? The cutoff for is 5 foot,
Anything under 5 foot.
No, that can't be true because look how many women are under 5 foot and they're not midgets. How tall is your sister?
She says 4'10", and I think she's lying. I say she's 4'8".
And now, would you consider your sister a midget?
No, I wouldn't consider her a midget.
I don't think people stop and look at her. She's petite. You know what I mean?
It's probably 5 foot for a man, 4'6" for a woman. If I had to make my own ruling,
5 foot. I mean, that seems fucking insane.
I'm saying, if a man is.
But I mean, you see like those little guys all the time,
right?
And they're not midgets. You know what I mean? Like you see little Latin guys around town all the time. They got to be in that 5 foot range.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody calls them a midget.
Because that little extra inch makes a difference.
I mean, the midgets that we're talking about are like 3-4 feet tall. Who wants? It's like being the world's tallest midget, 5 foot. You'd be the Shaq of midgets.
Well, that at least you have something on your mantle.
Why would you have a mantle?
That you wouldn't be able to reach.
You think they live in some kind of little huts with just the fireplace? Here's Billy. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie?
Yeah.
I was just curious if you asked your friend if any of these small guys got out of a sidecar, on the side of their motorcycle, because I've always wanted to see that, a little guy getting out of a sidecar.
Yeah, that would be fun. I would love to just ride around a sidecar. I've never even fucking gotten one in my life. It looks like the most enjoyable time ever. It's like a go-kart where you don't have to steer.
That'd be a little horrifying, no? I mean, you're so close to the ground, and one screw comes off, and you're done.
You worry a lot, don't you? You sit around and fucking worry. You and Fez ought to bunk together.
We're working on it.
Just constant fears. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I was just going to say, my sister applied for a midget scholarship one of her teachers had told her about, and on the scholarship it said the cutoff was 5'1".
5'1" is a midget?
That is too tall to be a midget. I don't buy it.
My mom's a midget.
didn't
I've never
either.
had any idea this. My mother's a midget.
There has to be a difference between men and women. There has to be. West Side is 5'2".
They have cocks. The men have cocks.
You know what I mean? Midget, men.
There's a good if you have babies with West Side, there's a good chance you're going to have a midget kid.
Redheaded and a midget.
And lefty.
Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, boys, how you doing today?
Don't worry about us. How you doing?
Freaking peachy, man. Hey, first-time caller, love it. Under 5 foot is called shortness of stature. Genetic, dwarfism and midget is genetic.
Right.
So you can have, short parents and be a short person, but not be a midget or dwarf. You can just be technically called shortness of stature, and you get that little handicap plaque in your car if you are, got to sit on a phone book.
Right. So you could even be 4'7", but you're not a midget if you don't have this genetic thing.
Yeah, man, I dated a broad that was 4'9", and she was technically called short of stature, but she wasn't a dwarf or a midget.
I wonder why they even have to have a technical term for anybody.
I don't know, man. She's just a short little broad.
Are in the short of stature mode.
Well, it sounds like what he's saying is that short of stature is just a regular human who is short, but the midgets have the sausage fingers.
Johnny, come on over here. Johnny, you're a tiny little guy. How tall are you right now?
About 5'4".
Oh, God, that's adorable. It's just adorable. A midget, well, you didn't give me anything I can use here, did you? You gave me the terms for it. Yeah, but there's no height on here.
You want a height,
Well, let's just see. It says a dwarf is abnormally small person, often having limbs and features not properly proportioned or formed. Oh, I didn't know they weren't formed. Midget, extremely small person who is otherwise normally proportioned, plus it's listed as an offensive term.
All right, so midget and shortness of stature both sound like the same thing.
Two different things. Two different things completely. A short person is not a midget. Kyle, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Yeah.
I was wondering what you thought about, horse jockeys. Would you consider them midgets?
Excellent point. Tiny little guys, not midgets. They are not... Yeah, they're shortness of stature.
Shortness of stature.
Yeah. But you never think, all jockeys have to be midgets. But all jockeys have to be little. They got to be, under 100 pounds.
Yeah.
But those guys aren't midgets.
No.
Matter of fact, you couldn't even put a midget up there. A midget would be more like, what's his name, Vern.
Oh, Vern Troy or Mini-Me.
Yeah, he's a midget.
And then what would a dwarf be? I guess the dwarfs are the guys with the real short arms. Because,
right.
but the rest of their body, their torsos are normal,
and
then they
heads.
have those real short,
right.
know, arms.
They got a big head, big torso, big cock, big man-sized cock, and a tiny little arm.
With a dwarf, I don't know whether their heads are big or are they a normal size head.
Normal size.
Normal size. Okay.
I mean, imagine how big your head would look if we just shrunk your arms up right now.
Actually, I think a lot of dwarfs usually have those big foreheads.
I'm just doing like the T-Rex arms.
So dwarfs look like Morph on Golf, whatever that.
No, that's the
character
guy
was.
on his knees.
But that's the way they kind of look like in real life.
No,
because they have the short arms.
It's a man. He has long arms. He's on his knees. That's all. He's put 2 sneakers down and then kneeled on them.
Yeah,
it's
good representation.
Yeah. Jeremy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I know that the bikers, midget bikers, I heard they were driving big wheels. See you.
Thank you very much, buddy.
A lot of dwarfs have the big foreheads, I think.
They're balding, that's all. Here's Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, you guys were talking about sidecars. I've actually met the guy who owns the world record for laying down in a sidecar.
Quit bragging.
The guy went, I think, close to 300 miles an hour, about 6 inches off the salt flats in a sidecar.
So his record is fastest passenger in history.
Fastest retarded passenger. I just can't imagine how insane you'd have.
300 miles an hour. Now, I've been out to the salt flats. I cannot begin to tell you how dry it is out there. I don't even know why. I can't imagine that you're racing hard in that heat and that salty air coming at you.
Oh, no.
Yes. The answer is yes, my friend.
So it must just be the flattest area anywhere in the country, because that's where they do all that stuff at.
I believe anywhere in the world.
And, yeah, any sort of, like, rocket testing or anything. They just, right out there on the flats.
That is true. They are right out there on the flats, and they will test for speed. Here's Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. A bunch of us were at the gym one day, and there was like probably a group of midgets that came in, and they were like midget bodybuilders. And there's nothing funnier than a midget bodybuilder.
Last thing I'd do if I was a midget is attempt to fucking do anything else. If anything, I would smoke and drink and bite people's legs when I fought with them. I'd fucking bite them right on the legs every time I fought. You know why?
Why?
That's what I do now. So why would I change? Why should I go adapting?
Wonder how much...
You know what? Notice on this show I got to ask people to ask me why instead of staring at me. I get the feeling everybody on this show is like that RCA dog, where they hear a voice and are just looking at the speaker.
No, I was just wondering how much those midgets could bench press. I mean, 80 pounds, 100 pounds, 150.
Yes, all different weights, aren't there?
These are things
all
I'd
different
like to
weights.
think about.
Yeah. Here's Rocket. You're on Fez.
Hey, Fezzy, I was wondering, would you consider adopting a midget baby?
Why don't you do this? Just adopt a midget, put him in a bonnet, and then every time that the adults turn around, he's smoking a cigar in front of you. That fidget has a cigar!
I wonder how that movie Little Man did overall. That was with the Wayans brothers trying to pull that old Little Rascals gimmick.
Sean, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, how far you think you could throw a midget, Ronnie?
I don't know how far I could throw him, but that's as much as I would trust him. Literally as much as I would trust him.
A midget seems really dense, like a low center of gravity.
No, that's a dwarf.
Oh,
the dwarf is the dense one. Midget's going to be much lighter. You're going to be able to throw a midget a lot further than a dwarf. A dwarf, you're lucky you don't get fucking thrown yourself after he's done biting your legs.
Yeah, dwarf seems like he would be close to just the average person's weight anyway.
You could probably throw a midget further than a baby, I would think, because they're firmer.
That's insane.
A
baby's going to weigh 10 pounds tops.
Doesn't matter. The midget, the way he's constructed and built will allow him to be more aerodynamic than the baby, who wiggles and bobbles their heads.
You're going for the funny shock thing instead of going, 10 pounds against 90 pounds.
No. Vern Troyer doesn't weigh 90. Vern Troyer probably weighs 40 pounds.
Look it up, would you, IMDb? Let's try to get a weight on him.
You think Vern Troyer wears 90?
I have no idea what he weighs. I know he weighs more than the baby.
What I'm saying is...
Did you see him when he was on Surreal Life when they had to when he pissed on the floor and they had to try to pick him up? Two guys that lifted him. They were fucking... It looked like a struggle.
He went complete dead weight when he got drunk.
Well, he's not allowed to drink.
Why not?
Not for the midget toss. You can't drink. You have to be sober. But if he does listen to instructions, he'll stay like a ball.
Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, guys? Hey, they got a new show on A&E. It's about dwarfs. And there's a difference between a midget and a dwarf. And the dwarfs, their bodies aren't, part of them won't grow. They even got to put this stent in their head where their brain matter, they got to drain their brain matter out that runs down into a tube in their stomach.
I don't think you want to drain brain matter.
That is not... To me, that's not like a...
Did you have this done to you?
No.
Okay.
Like a normally functioning dwarf, it doesn't have to go in and get his brain drained every once in a while, does he? I mean, I can't... That
was the first call I've ever heard on it. Hey, Clay, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, how are Asian people not considered midgets?
There you go.
I mean, on the whole, it's not a racist, but on the whole, there's a lot of short people in China and the rest of Asia.
And I'll tell you something else. There's a lot of short South Americans. I see guys working in my neighborhood. I don't think most of them are 5 foot. You probably are tall for being Ecuadorian, right, Johnny?
Yeah, about like the usual cutoff point is about 5'2", so I'm like Shaq out there.
You're all drenched in your Cincinnati hat and colors today, right?
Yeah.
You feel like it's their year?
No.
They may be one of my early teams to pick. Now, don't mean I'll be rooting for them, but I think they're going to go far this year.
I don't think so. They got too many off the field problems, man.
Off the field problems, you know what that Britt does? Brings a team together.
I don't think so. Not
Brings
this
a team
one.
together.
Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, thank you.
2001.
Yeah, that's actually my team right there.
Who are you looking for this year, Giants?
The New York Football Giants.
Yeah,
Eli will get us 12-4.
This year we're going to be talking a lot less football because I can't just have Homer talk. Where Earl will yell out about his Jets.
No, I'm realistic about the Jets. If they're 8-8, I'll be happy. But because
why would you be happy with a fucking 500 year?
Well,
why wouldn't you yell another 500 fucking year?
No, go from 4-12 to 8-8 with a new coach, a new line. And I'm realistic.
I will not be watching football this year. I've made up my mind. But every Sunday I will watch the film Invincible about Dick Vermeil.
Starring Greg Kinnear. I think the Saints are going to do something this year. If Reggie Bush starts out strong and having Drew Bledsoe as a quarterback.
Drew
Brees, sorry.
Saints are going nowhere.
This is where we were last year. And then remember when we have that guy on Festival Go, and what about this game? And the guy would talk for 10 minutes. What about this game? I had a fucking pizza last year. I'm thinking Reggie Bush bust this year. I really do. I think he's going to have a very difficult time adapting.
I disagree. That boy's the truth, man. He can run.
You know what? I would have believed you right up until the wet-ass hour. Right until it was time to win that Rose Bowl. And I saw the fucking fear in his eyes. Earl, I see you clapping along.
No, when he screwed up that play, his head was completely...
Throwing the ball behind him a fucking child?
Yeah, once that play was done, he never got back into that game. I mean, his head was never back in that game.
I will never find myself rooting for Texas. And I'm going like this. Texas is going to win this goddamn game because of those bums. Those fucking bums are going to bring joy to Texas. And goddamn if they didn't.
Vince Young's going to go nowhere, though, either. In fact, this whole rookie crop, not good.
You're looking for all this shit to bed.
Matt Leinart is going to get destroyed. He's going to be the 2000 version of Scott Mitchell, that big, tall, lanky left-hander.
Yeah, I don't see it happening for him either.
No, I disagree, though. He has weapons down there in Arizona. He's got Edgerrin, he's got Mr. Bolden, he got Mr. Fitzgerald.
You ever see that guy throw a pass? He fucking rainbows every single pass. He has one fucking play. Run down far, jump high, and I'll get the ball to you. That's all he did.
Yeah, but he's got tall receivers, so that would work for him. It's like if you had Randy Moss.
Not in the pros.
That does not work in the pros, my friend. That's a very fucking dangerous play because you've got athletes on the defense. For some reason, college football, every athlete plays on the offense. There's no athletes on the defense.
He throws like a duck. Every duck. He doesn't have a tight spiral to save his ass.
Yes.
You can tell him I said so, too.
Yeah, we already...
You tell him. No, Matt Leinart, if you're listening, come on.
Matt Leinart is listening with a single tear. Don't fucking believe this has happened before I even get the opportunity to prove myself. I didn't watch any of the game last night.
I watched some of it. Raiders won. They beat the Eagles in the Hall of Fame game 16-10.
Again, is that the Raiders? Is that the Eagles? No. I hate to call them that in the preseason. I'm not going to deal with that.
I think it was in the second quarter, Jeff Garcia for the Eagles. He was taking some snaps, and they just buried him in the backfield.
Jeff Garcia, where's his latest cup of coffee? This fucking guy's going town to town like a stand-up comic.
I don't know what happened to him. I heard John Madden talking a little bit about his bust because he's going, he went to the Hall of Fame, and so he was really proud of his bust and called his own bust handsome last night.
Yeah. I don't know if I can take another season of Madden.
I don't like him and Al Michaels. I never did.
No, me neither.
Get Pat Summerall back with that great voice and everything.
Well, since they've taken his lungs out, it's a little difficult to stay there. I'm more of a Pat Summerall, Tom Brookshire guy, but maybe that's a Philly deal. I like two guys that would actually sit in the booth and drink together. Here's Hank's Left. You're on Ron and Fez.
Yo, the Lions are going to do good this year.
Is this
just like
J-Dubs calling?
Tattoo.
Yeah.
Huh?
Is this J-Dubs calling? Poor J-Dubs. Every year he picks those fucking bums. Every year he picks those bums. And they find a way of disappointing.
They usually have some decent draft picks, and everyone gets excited, and they'll even win a few games at the beginning of the season to get Lions fans excited.
Aaron, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I want to agree with Earl. Jets all the way, man. Tell that Fungi that we'll go Jets all the way.
Yeah, let's go Jets go. Yeah, that's why I fucking hate football, the homer talk. It's just homer talk. We'll take a break. Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez. XM 202.
Get back in the car, children. Get back in the car. We're leaving the restaurant. Don't let them bite your legs. Ron and Fez Show. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Little lies. To walk around telling great big lies. They got little noses, tiny little teeth. They wear platform shoes on their nasty little feet. Well, I don't want no short people. Don't want no short people. Don't want no short people around here. Ron and Fez Show. Fez, this was kind of fun over the weekend. There was about 200 fans outside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland protesting because Kiss hasn't been allowed back in. Earl, Eddie Trunk, any part of that big run?
I think he might have had a little word on organizing it. He kind of put the word out on a couple of websites.
I would just like to put this out to everybody, and I know there's fans of the band Kiss, but if you let Kiss into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you're going to have to let the Archies in as well, and then the Bugaloos, and every fucking fake band that came along. Earl, would you let them in?
No, I would not let them in, because they're more known for spectacle as opposed to just the music.
Yeah, they're a fireworks act.
Yeah, the music has completely gotten lost in what that band is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, they've been influential as far as marketing, but I don't know,
Yeah, and that's the worst thing about rock and roll. The fact that you're influenced for your marketing, you're helping to destroy it all, yeah. I got no problem with keeping them out. Not only keeping them out, but I wouldn't even let them buy a ticket and come in and look at the other people's shit. And I'll tell you right now, I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's the same as the Hard Rock. It's like acting like I can't get into the Hard Rock.
You're just not getting dinner there at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I think you can. There is.
Really?
Yeah, I think there is. I think there's a restaurant in there.
They got their own chicken tenders.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if there's a makeup Hall of Fame that Kiss can go into.
You're not a big fan? You wouldn't let him in, Fez?
No, I wouldn't put Kiss in.
Yeah. Here's Dennis. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
I think Chicago, the band, how could they not be in the Hall of Fame?
Rock.
The Bee Gees are in.
Bee Gees talent. Chicago.
They've had like 10 top number one albums. They're the second largest selling American rock and roll band of all time.
But you know what? Here's the thing. That's like saying Burt Reynolds is one of the greatest actors of all time.
They've had about 40 top 10 hits.
Dennis, it's looked at with a critical point of view.
Yeah, well,
and it's a cheesy fucking band that plays to people that either A, were in a marching band, or B, are elderly women. Chicago in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Jimi Hendrix loved Chicago and took them on the road with him early in his career. Terry Kath actually taught Jimi Hendrix how to do all that stuff with his guitar.
Yeah, because Chicago's so amazing. Not only would I not let Chicago in, but anyone who names himself after a place would not get into the... there will be no Boston, no Chicago, no Europe, no Asia... who am I missing out there? America would not make it in. The only one who would make it in is Randy California. God bless his soul. Drowned trying to save a kid, Fez.
Really?
That's always been my dream.
Wow, I had no idea.
Do you know who Randy California is?
No.
So this is why the whole story shocked you.
Yeah. Who's Randy California?
Spirit. Nature's Way. The whole gimmick.
Oh, okay.
Here's Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yo, what's up, buddies?
Yeah.
They haven't even put Van Halen in yet. And Eddie Van Halen, even though he's a jerk now, was the most influential rock guitarist of the 70s and 80s.
You know, I think Van Halen fucked it up by, switching lead singers, and that probably what kept them out.
Yeah,
that no one knows who Van Halen really is. What do you think, Earl?
I think Van Halen should have been in years ago. That's one of the biggest...
original Van Halen?
I would put both incarnations in. Both I think, were very good. And the fact that they're not in, I think, is one of the biggest omissions in the Hall.
What's your name? Well, there's never been big on what they call hard rock, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They normally go for artists over the big performer thing.
Yeah, they're very select with their hard rock, like AC/DC's in, and Aerosmith's in, and it took forever to get Sabbath in.
Seth, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, how about as long as we're letting Chicago in there, how about like Michael Bolton and maybe Kenny G, you freaking tool caller? Chicago blows.
Wait a minute. Let me just say this. Kenny G taught Hendrix how to do everything. Kenny G taught Miles Davis how to play the horn. He did not even know how to play. Here is Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Ronnie, I know you're putting the Ohio players in.
Yeah, I would have a difficult time keeping the Ohio players out. Maybe I feel good if you add something to it. Like Delaware Destroyers, fine. Delaware, stupid name.
Orleans not going in?
Who?
Orleans.
This one I never even heard of. They're my Randy California.
Oh, I'm trying to think of what they did now.
I remember they did, remember the song Still the One?
That's it, yeah.
Spill the Wine?
Still the One.
Oh, Still the One. I thought you were saying Spill the Wine. I was going, that's Eric Burden of War. No, I have no idea who they are. Here's Lawrence. You're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I think Rush should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're pretty unique. And
if they rush in, I'm rushing out. That's where I'm going with Rush. I want them kept out. As any Canadians in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm sure Joni Mitchell's in there.
I think Joni Mitchell and Neil Young's in the Hall of Fame.
Of course he is. Now, Neil Young, back on the road with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and from what I understand, they're doing a bunch of stuff from this last album that Neil Young did. Now, don't I remember a little after 9/11, Crosby, Stills, and Nash going on the Tonight Show, being kind of pro-war? They sang the national anthem while John McCain stood up with his hand over his heart.
Oh, yeah.
Or am I alone in that memory?
No, I think that did happen.
So now they're singing this anti-war deal. When do they make the flip?
Yeah, I have no idea when I don't think they announced it if they did.
Angela, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to remind you of Kansas and wondered if anybody there had some rude words to say about them.
Yeah, I will not be attending. I won't be promoting Kansas. Yeah. Now, the odd thing is I would put the Steinhardt Moon Band very, very high at the top of the list there. Here is Dave. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
What about the Manhattan Transfer?
Yeah, not for me. I don't know. I saw these guys not too long ago singing on the N line. They were actually 4 original members. Interesting thing last night in the subway, Fez. Down around 14th Street, subway stops. Waits. 20 minutes go by. 3 kids are in there going, fuck it, I can see the station from here. Let's get out. Let's go. They get out of the fucking subway. They, go out through the doors, hop over that thing. They start to walk. You just hear, get back in the fucking, we're leaving. The fucking train starts, and it's very tight. And 3 of them are leaning up against the wall as the subway goes by.
Oh, they say do not get out of the car unless told to.
But this guy knew better than to start that fucking subway with those guys sitting there, too. Everett, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, I just wanted your opinion on Hart.
Not named after a place. Did Hart ever get in, Arnold?
No, they're not in yet.
No, they're not in yet.
Yeah, they wouldn't get in for me. 2 big reasons. Number 1, the girls' weight got out of control. Number 2, Cameron Crowe, Elizabethtown. I'm still bitter over that. So Hart, not in for me. Earl, what about for you? Would you throw Hart in?
I would not put Hart in.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
Tony, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
How about the New York Dolls?
Love the New York Dolls. They probably hadn't done enough stuff to get in there, but I put Patti Smith in before the New York Dolls, and she's not in yet either. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Fred, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yo, Ron, I'm a big Kiss fan, man. You're breaking my heart. But what about Alice Cooper?
Is he in?
No, he's not in.
I don't think he is.
Doesn't belong in there. If anything, he should go on MSNBC every day wearing some crazy cowboy shirt. The same one every single day.
That shirt looks like he took it off of Roy Rogers.
Yeah. Here's Sean. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, how about the Bay City Rollers? That's named after a place.
Yeah, and they should not get in either. I don't know what it is. There's something really wrong about people who just pick their names off a map.
Well, it seems like a cheap pop, where it's like if Kansas plays in Kansas, they know they're going to get a cheer.
Do you honestly believe that? Do you think Boston really cares about Boston? Here's Aaron. Aaron, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I would. I never really cared for Kiss much either, but you got to give it to them about all the kids they influenced to pick up instruments in the first place, all the other bands that came after them, direct result of them.
I don't know. I'm not going to give them. I don't know why you would even say that.
You could say the same thing about the Dave Clark Five. They influenced a lot of American kids.
Dave Clark Five is in. They are in.
Dave Clark Five is?
No, I don't know. I just thought I'd bust you a little bit. I don't know why everyone cares so much about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Joe, it never had the pop that I think it was supposed to have, whereas it was supposed to be this big thing with spiking in sales.
Can
and
I tell you
touring.
something? There's only one Hall of Fame that matters, and that's Cooperstown. Everything else is a fake Hall of Fame. Cooperstown is the only one that gets tons of people going and caring.
Well, I didn't know this about the NFL Hall of Fame. Like, they have to have no less than, I think, 5 people going in every year. So it's like, with baseball, I think it's like if no one qualifies, if no one gets voted in, nobody goes in.
Yeah, but they started before the Football Hall of Fame.
And the Football Hall of Fame, they have to put in 5 people.
The problem with the Football Hall of Fame is that 5 people every year, 4 of them are quarterbacks.
Yeah, we had 2 this past weekend.
Warren Moon. Come on. Best of all time? Warren Moon? Now you might as well throw in everybody.
And he played on the greatest playoff collapse game ever against the Bills.
Oh, yeah, that was a famous game. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez. Let me try it again. See, this fucking phone drives me crazy. Tom, you're on the air.
Hey, what about Yes?
No. Joe, you're on Ron and Fez. Joe, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, you guys forget about Nazareth. I don't think they belong in the the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, love hurts, and so does your music. Here is Josh. Josh, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Yeah.
What about Black Oak, Arkansas?
Jim Dandy to the rescue, and I'd rather drown. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. These are becoming catty moments with Ron. I'm starting to really be uncomfortable with myself lately. I don't even know what's going on with me. Let me check to see what else is happening out there. I know Jay Leno filled in over the weekend. I don't know if anybody got to see that. But while Roger Ebert is in the hospital, they've got people coming in to help give movie reviews. Did you get a chance, Fez?
No, I didn't see Leno on this thing.
Earl, anyone, you pick it up?
No, I don't even know when the show airs anymore.
Well, that's why you have TiVo, and then you can TiVo it. It comes on 5 o'clock in the morning. It's fantastic. I didn't get to see that one. Next week, it's O&A buddy Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith will be in to review his movie, so I'm definitely TiVoing that one and checking it out.
With Leno doing this, now I didn't see it, but I can't imagine that he would have anything bad to say about anybody's movie. I think it would be all two big chins up.
He ought to do the film that he did with Mr. Miyagi. That should be talked about. Luke, you're on Ron and Fez.
How about Tom Petty? Is he in?
Yeah, Tom Petty is in. And I'm not going to sit here with an encyclopedia, Luke, and go over everything for you with the rock and roll encyclopedia. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, yeah, what is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland?
What did Ian Hunter try to tell you? Fucking Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Please, there's nothing in Cleveland that rocks.
Well, the odd thing is, being big in Cleveland was always like being big in Japan. That if you would go to Cleveland, you would sell out.
With these fans protesting in Cleveland for a kiss at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the article that I saw said that the selection committee isn't even in Cleveland. That's just where the museum is. That no one in Cleveland could actually help them get kissed in.
Well, it got them some ability to get in the paper, though. Too bad that fucking show ruined this song. Everybody thinks of that fucking idiot.
All this energy calling me back where it comes from.
All right, Fezzy, Joe Lieberman on the ropes. Tomorrow is election day in Connecticut?
Yeah, tomorrow is the Democratic primary where he's going up against Ned Lamont for his party's nomination.
And it looks like Ned Lamont is running away with this, if you're going to believe the news at all. So he will not get the Democratic nomination. Now it's a matter of whether he runs on as an independent. What do you think?
Yeah, he'll definitely run as an independent. Yeah, he's not going to want to give up that Senate seat. He didn't want to give it up when he was running for vice president. He ran for both those offices at the same time.
The way it's going right now, I don't know whether he will win the general election. Because everything has swayed so hard against him, I think it makes him look weak.
He did like his last speech, his last rally yesterday.
Yeah.
And said in the speech, "I'm not George Bush." Because he's being tied to George Bush so much with the Iraq War, that this is like his final slogan now. This is the best he can come up with. I'm not George Bush.
Now, how is he going to go run as an independent and ask the Republicans to back him when he's saying he's not standing with George Bush? He's got to pick a party for himself. You either have to be on the left or on the right in today's world. You can't be in the center anymore.
I saw him, not him, but someone talking about this campaign on one of the news shows where they kept saying, no, he's going to run as a Democrat. And it's like, that can't it was so uninformed because you can't do that. There can't be two Democratic nominees.
He's going to run as an independent, but he's keeping his Democratic card. In other words, he's not leaving the party. But you can run on an independent ticket there.
Oh, okay. So if he keeps his seat, it's not like... if he loses his seat, it's not like... Well, I'm saying this wrong.
There's going to be two Democrats racing against a Republican, is the basic gimmick. He will be a Democrat. And why? They have rejected you. You can't say, no, I do represent you. It's just insane. Just move. When you're not want to move on. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, just wanted to call and say that I watched Leno on the Ebert and Roper show.
Yeah, how'd he do?
And I thought he did a really good job. I actually don't like Leno, but I thought he was really good, and he actually put down a Sylvester Stallone movie.
What movie?
They were talking about Talladega Nights and talking about how great it was, and Leno said it was so much better than that movie Driven, and he put down Driven for, I don't know, about a minute, and I thought that was really cool, because I had the same thought. I thought Leno wasn't going to say anything bad about any celebrity.
All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here's Bob. Bob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, Leonard Skinner's not in the Hall of Fame, and there's petitions here in Jacksonville, Florida, to try and get him in. Why aren't they in yet?
Well, the reason why is because that fake Skinner have kind of ruined the name of Leonard Skinner over the year, and that fake Skinner would want to show up and do a show.
I don't know how news...
Yeah, well, at least put the dead Skinner in the Hall of Fame.
I think they would if fake Skinner would stop touring. You can't have the nieces and nephews of Leonard Skinner going out selling themselves.
I don't know how the news travels down there, but they are in. They got it this year.
Oh, they got in this year?
Yes.
Oh, well then why didn't you interrupt so I could tell them to stop the petition?
Once they learned to write, they got so excited.
Todd, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm in Cleveland, and it's a joke to us here in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because, hell, they don't even have the ceremony here, the induction. It's in New York most of the time. They've had it here like a couple of times, the inaugural, and like one other time. But that'd be like Cooperstown having, the ceremony for baseball in Miami.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Number one, nobody wants to go to Cleveland and play rock. They'd rather they normally do it from New York. Number two, there's no place in New York to store everybody's old rock gear and call it a museum. It's ridiculous.
They tried to have it there one year in Cleveland, and not only did no one want to show up, there was no places to hang out, there was no places to go and party, there was no no scene there.
Yeah.
And
there's no there there.
There's no there because I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is like right off the lake or something.
Yeah. Everything in Cleveland's right off the lake.
I mean,
and then there's a farm on the other side of that.
Yeah, but I think that was the year P-Funk got in, and I remember Bernie Worrell's wife, she was just like, what the hell is there to do in Cleveland? Because there was just nothing to do there.
Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
I used to do politics for a living. I'm telling you, Lieberman's not going to run probably as an independent. If you read the Times article from yesterday, they're already shutting the campaign down. His campaign manager basically said that they hadn't put the sell on the people of Connecticut that they needed. I think the quote was, close the deal. If you're a sitting three-term senator and you haven't closed the deal, it's time to stop and get some consultation money and really make some money in your later years.
Up to 3 weeks ago, the story was if he loses as a Democrat, no worries, he'll go on and win the general election. This thing has fallen so bad that I haven't heard anybody picking him to win this general election now. So he ought to. You got two things to do. If you want to be a Republican, just go be a Republican. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't misunderstand the fact that the people who are going, we want to send a liberal to Washington, don't get that point, that they're saying we're electing a Democrat, but a fucking Republican is showing up in Washington. It's not what they want.
This thing swung so far against Lieberman so fast. I think in March he had a 55-point lead in the polls over this Lamont for the nomination, and now he's down 14. So somehow he's lost like 69 points along the way.
Well, this guy's run a campaign going, I'm going to go to Washington and fight the things that you folks don't like. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to promote the liberal viewpoint. Now, he's saying that to liberals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To his own party. And why wouldn't you want somebody in your party to represent your fucking point of view? It's a gimme. It would be as silly as a guy who was Republican running, saying, no, I don't want kids to pray in school. I find it freaky. I think it's nuts. I want us out of Iraq. I think the president's a nut. That guy wouldn't be a Republican.
Here's some Joe Lieberman from yesterday.
I'm saying to them, I ain't George Bush,
and I have delivered for you over 30 years.
You said in the debate that Iraq is better now than a year ago. Do you still believe that?
It is better now. It's better and worse.
It's better and worse. Trying anything at this in the 11th hour here, going into the primary.
Dennis, you're Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I wanted to tell Black Earl, hey, what about the flats up in Cleveland? There's all kinds of stuff to do in Cleveland up there beside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
What about the big aquarium, Earl?
Oh, Dennis, if you had the choice, you could stay at the Waldorf Astoria for a week. You can hit the shops along Fifth Avenue. And then, as opposed to the aquarium in Cleveland, which one would you pick?
Oh, Earl, you're one of those New York snobs. I've read about you, your type, a New York snob. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Earl, are you retarded? Look across the river, flats, warehouse district. Dude, you have to be blind not to be able to find something. Get in a cab, you're from New York. Say, take me someplace. And they take you. It's that simple.
Matt, why aren't they having the induction ceremony then? Why don't they bring the Rockers into Cleveland?
I think it's because, I mean, just like anything, it's all corporate BS. I mean, you've got these big wigs who say, oh, well, you know, here we're going to have this in New York and stuff like that. I think I think Cleveland, unfortunately, being from Cleveland, is still kind of known as the mistake on the lake, but we're turning it around. We're turning it around. It's coming full circle. Soon you'll see that, you know,
there's an all-foul boining.
Come
on.
on.
The Cuyahoga River. I was just throwing a little more rant. Today's like Randy Newman Day.
I tell you, like I said, I've lived in Cleveland my entire life,
and you love it.
I have a blast. I have a blast.
I've
been to New York, and I hate it. It's too busy.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's too busy. It's too much to do. I don't blame you. Get into Cleveland. Where else are you going to find a river on fire? You can't beat it. You cannot beat that kind of entertainment, Fez.
Oh, yeah, because a river fire, it won't go out for a while. That thing will just burn for weeks.
Chris, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good, buddy.
Hey, coming from another DJ, I wanted to tell you that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland because that was the first place ever where rock and roll was played on the radio.
I'll tell that to the people in Memphis. Oh, that's right, they were black. Thank you very much. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. See, Earl, it wasn't rock and roll until white people played it.
Of course.
Yeah, then it became rock and roll.
My favorite all-time clip was what Fats Domino. It's like, how long have you been playing this crazy rock and roll music? He goes, where I come from, they said it wasn't called rock and roll, it was called rhythm and blues. I've been playing it for 15 years.
Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good, buddy.
Just wanted to add something on the Lieberman thing. I was listening. I was confused about it, too, and then I read the other day that there's more independent voters in Connecticut than there is, you know, registered Democrats or Republicans. So it does make sense in one way for Lieberman. If he's got a little bit of the Democrats and gets a lot of the independent voters, you know, there's a chance there. But
well, apparently he does very well with Republicans as well.
Right, so there's a chance he could pick up a lot of people from different parties.
But now, Fez and Earl are telling me that he's talking about dropping out completely. That if he doesn't win tomorrow, he's going to forget about it. Now, I hadn't heard that. That's the first time that came up.
The other thing is, one reason he may drop out, like the other person said, is consulting fees. If he drops out now, then he doesn't actually lose, you know, and he still can go out and get his consulting fees. If he tries to win and loses, then he's really hurt his reputation.
All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Why not just switch parties? What is the problem with going, I'm more conservative than I was before, or I'm more conservative than you people want me to be? I'm sure the Republicans in Connecticut would be glad to have him.
Oh, they would take him in a heartbeat, son.
I know George W. Bush loves them. They make out. Michael, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I heard that thing got really disastrous for the Lieberman campaign after the first debate where he had to come back into Connecticut, and people said that he has such a real contempt for having to come home and actually have to debate the issues.
The fact that he had to come back after all these years, debate, and try to show the people of Connecticut who he was, I'm sure that one would shock you.
Yeah, well, that clip we play where he's like, look at my record, 19 years or whatever. He's got to be thinking, what more do I have to do for you people?
Well, in that clip, he said 30 years, but I don't know what he's done over, you know, I mean, I don't know everything he did before Sunday. I don't know much about the guy. I know he's the dullest man I've ever seen in my life. That's the most I can give him. That if I needed to get to sleep, I wouldn't mind calling him on the phone and having him try to tell me why I should elect him so I could nod off.
When he ran in 2004 for president, he tried to get the thing started with Liebermania.
And Joe-mentum.
Joe-mentum, that's right. His campaign now has Joe-mentum.
I don't remember Liebermania, but I do remember Joe-mentum.
I think Liebermania, we started that when Joe-mentum wasn't catching on. People just don't see us as energetic.
Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddies.
Yeah.
Earl, I agree with you, man. Cleveland sucks. Hate that fucking place. Went there for a Grateful Dead show, well, not for the music, for the drugs, and hated it. Hated the whole fucking thing.
I just want you to know that Jerry only showed up for the drugs and not the music, too. So don't act like you're special on that. Everyone agrees with that. Here is Dave. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez. Dave, losing you, bro?
Oh, here I am.
Yeah.
Sorry. 14,759 checking in. Anyway, point I wanted to make is the reason Lieberman won't run if he goes as an independent is because he'd split up the Democratic vote, and then they'd lose the Senate seat to the Republicans, as much as I'd love to see that.
First of all, the Republicans have had that seat all this time. That's the fucking point of the story. That Lieberman is a Republican, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's your party. He should move across and run as a Republican. That is what he is. I mean, I don't know. Do you accept any Jews? Or is it a Mel Gibson thing? Because if you take Jews, if you take Jews, you got a terrific senator there in Connecticut. I think he would do well.
Reagan switched parties when he ran for governor.
Reagan switched parties when he decided to sell out the unions. Here is John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, buddy.
Oh, hey, man, I was going to say I'd vote for Lieberman just to hear that impression for 4 more years, man.
Go ahead, Fezzy.
I'm Joe Lieberman. Vote for me. I'm here to energize the party.
You can't beat it. I mean, when I hear Lieberman talk like that, I get excited, too.
I'm all jowls.
Yeah. Fez, Earl, what song are we going to play by Mike Zito? And if you got a motorcycle and you're heading out west, Mike Zito's the guy to see, Fez.
Mike Zito, he's going to be performing in Sturgis at the bike rally going on there.
Boy, that sounds like a comfortable place. What's the big hit, Earl?
From a CD, Superman. It's Changed My Ways, and for some reason I can't seem to find it right
We have it over here if you want us to play it.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it track 1?
It is track number...
yeah, track 1. And what's the sound of Mike Zito? We're talking about a blues thing?
Yeah, definitely blues rock.
Yeah.
That type of deal.
All right, Mike Zito in Sturgis. This song's called Superman.
Your sexy eyes are on tonight. You're looking for a one-way flight. You need a man to ease your worried mind. Well, I know you've seen me here before. And girl, before you like that dough, well, I think you know exactly what you'll find. So baby, don't you worry now, 'cause I'll be coming right to you. This man I'm still is surely understands. You need a Superman. Your troubles, lies, and mysteries catching up, I see. So you feel like running off in some kind of dream. But dreams sometimes they do come true. And girl, it's really up to you to take a chance on love at first sight. So baby, don't you worry now, 'cause I'll be coming right to you. This man I'll steal, he surely understands. You need a Superman. Oh, my love won't come on so strong, and we can make it last as long until the sun is rising in your eyes. Your sexy eyes are on tonight. You're looking for a one-way flight. So you need a man to ease your worried mind. Oh yeah. So baby, don't you worry now, 'cause I'll be coming right to you. This man I'll steal, surely understands. You need a Superman.
It's the Ron and Fez Show, XM 202.
Ron and Fez Show. So I guess Buck Wild is a no-show for us. And I thought he was going to be off the hook.
It's on CP time.
Kesserang. The fuck out of here. Smack the fucking taste out of your mouth. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Hey Chris, you're on Ron and Fez. Oh man, this fucking phone. Hey Chris, what do you say, buddy?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon to you.
I just want to let y'all know that I think you're a little off the mark, Ron. That on the political side, I do not think there are that many right-wing or left-wing individuals in the parties anymore. I think it's more moderates in the parties as it sits now.
Well, if you're going to run on one of the party's tickets, right, you want to represent what the people want represented. That's what you're looking to do. That's what the people are looking for. He no longer represents the left. So he should run on the right if he chooses to run, or as an independent.
But as all politicians have shown, they flip and flop however they want to for the majority.
Flip, flop. So what's your point, Chris?
What I'm saying is Lieberman should run as an independent. There's enough independent Republicans and independent Democrats probably to get him elected.
Well, that was the talk at one point, and it wasn't that long ago. And then over the weekend, I was watching, what's the Washington show where they all just scream in the big circle?
McLaughlin Group?
Yeah. And not one person there, or maybe there was only one out of the 6 or 7 of them, who thought that Lieberman could even win a general election. So I'm like, that whole deal is going away pretty quick. And they weren't picking anything other than like it was a horse race.
Yeah, Lieberman trailing by 14 points going into tomorrow's Democratic primary against Ned Lamont. And they keep saying this, the virtually unknown Ned Lamont.
That's the best thing about it. You want to be unknown. I've never voted before. Up until today, I've never had an opinion. And didn't even hear of Iraq.
So he doesn't have a kiss or...
What is DNA? I have no idea. This whole gene thing is interesting to me.
What about stem cells?
What?
Stem cells.
I like the way he sounds. Doesn't even know what a stem cell is. Who's Jesus?
The Savior.
Huh? Well, I'll have to start from scratch.
What about Israel and Hezbollah?
Never heard of them. Give me your vote. I'm Ned Lamont, a man who doesn't care.
I like this guy. Any of his ideas are new. They'd have to be. He's never had them before.
Maybe that's what we do need, man. A whole new attitude. We got to fucking vote for aliens. Vote for aliens.
Ned Lamont, I know they keep saying businessman, but I don't know exactly what his business was that he made.
Cable TV, multimillionaire, Fez.
Oh, nice.
Took the Connecticut countryside and wrapped it up with cable. Made sure everybody got full packages. He brought softcore porn to Connecticut.
I'll vote for anyone that brings me the entertainment of ESPN, Comedy Central, and HBO and Showtime.
Scott, what do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, is America ready for a third party?
I know I'm ready to shit can the two that we have. So it would really be up to what would you want the third party to do.
What?
It would really be more of what would the third party stand for.
Well, like your other caller said, the Republicans are kind of right-wingers, the Democrats are left-wingers. We've got a bunch of people that are in the middle, so maybe the independent party or the third party is just kind of in the middle, the centrist.
I don't know if, to me, both the parties are pretty central. I mean, I laugh my ass off. Blowhard is trying to tell me, the Democrats, he hates Hillary Clinton. He's like, we need somebody in the central. I go, fucking Hillary Clinton needs to walk to the left to get to the fucking center of her goddamn viewpoints. I see both the parties as being right wing.
She's Lieberman with bigger ankles.
Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey guys, how's it going?
That's none of your business,
I just wanted
Scott.
to say I think the best way to do this is restructure everything. We should have a 2-year Senate term, a 2-year congressional term instead of 2 and 6, and then it should be 1 or 2 max, and then they're done. They have to.
What about 2 to 6 months?
2 to 6 months.
Well, I got into this thing, and I honestly think it's the only way to go, Fezzy. And that's the divided states of America with the red states and blue states.
And then that way everyone gets to pick where they want to be.
Yeah.
Politically, geographically. You just go where you're not going to get upset because everyone is like-minded.
You're going to be, you'll be happy with it. And the cities seem to be blue. The country seems to be red. Let everybody do what they want to do. Let those folks out there in the middle of the country have big pictures of Jesus hanging up in the schools. And have them said, and that's how Jesus founded America. All right, when we come back, we're going to take a look at Jesus math.
Jesus had 2 fishes and 5 loaves.
And everybody will love it. It'll be good for everybody. Here's Dan. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
I think there is going to be a big third-party push this year just because of this Israeli-Hezbollah conflict. I've been following it for 30 years. I mean, I'm 35 years old, but since I've been a little
kid... You started 5 years old. You started to try to figure out the Middle East.
I'm Lebanese, so every news report that came out, I'm watching the news, who knows what's on. But I think America finally got to look at Israel and say, this is how America does business. They go into a country, they bomb the shit out of it, they don't care about anything, and they take what they want. And I think that's what America sees, and they're not liking the Democratic or the Republican way of doing things.
Well, interestingly enough that you said that, 100% of the Senate backs the Israeli conflict, I guess they're calling it, right, Fez?
Yep, that's a unanimous vote.
Do you got any numbers on the American people?
Well, a new CNN poll came out.
Good point.
Yeah, a new CNN poll came out. 46% of Americans think Israel should continue its military action against Hezbollah.
Mm-hmm.
44% think there should be an immediate ceasefire. So right down the middle once again.
There's your third party right there.
Yeah.
Thanks,
yeah.
guys.
At some point.
That 10%.
Yeah. Ted, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How are you, bro?
Good.
Yeah.
You don't care.
No, I really
I
don't.
think we should just eliminate the parties altogether and people run as their own person with no letter after their name.
Just, you're running up there as, Fez Whatley. Elect me, Fez Whatley. What do you represent? Well, I'm not telling you.
That's right.
But there's no D after my name.
Oh.
But
there is one in his ass.
Woo! Miss Ben.
Interesting idea there. Just get rid of people run as individuals. The individuals of Pennsylvania have now picked their individual. I miss all that when we used to do that at the convention. Mr. Speaker, the proud people of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, home to Mickey Vernon, cast their 3,000... They never do that Carney Act anymore. Those days are gone.
No, I think they do it at the convention, but the networks just won't show it anymore. They don't put it on TV anymore whatsoever. Like, no one wants to see it.
I want to see it.
I'd like to see it.
I don't think they do it. We'd have it on C-SPAN. I watch C-SPAN the whole time. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I'm just calling kind of in response to the guy who said they should have 2-year terms for Senate and representatives. I think that's actually the opposite way we should be going. When you have 2-year terms, then half of your term is spent campaigning and not being a fucking politician. I think people should be... the Senate has it right with a 6-year term. The reason we had a 2-year term with the representatives is because back in the day, there weren't good communications between people in the Senate.
I think there's only one way left to vote. That's with torches. I think we run in the fucking Washington with torches and chase all those people out. One after another.
And then whoever can grab their seats in offices first.
I'm going to run on the hang the rich fucking platform. I don't even think we've had that for a long time. But string up the rich, I think, has a possibility of getting out there.
You would think that would have some grassroots movement there.
Yeah. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Ron, I think you need to run, man. String up the rich. Run on the I don't give a fuck party, man.
My problem is this. I got a couple things in the background that'll keep me from running. My background was too tainted to run for student council. In 9th grade, I was already destroyed.
We're looking at something back from 5th grade that doesn't look real good for the campaign.
Yeah. Well, some people like to play doctor. Some people want to be doctors. Other people just like to play doctor. Steve, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yo, Ronnie.
Yes, sir.
Ned Lamont's commercials are way more entertaining. They're not like your typical, campaign commercial. And when you're running against a guy like Lieberman, it doesn't take that much to be more exciting.
What is his funny commercial? What's he doing? All right, hold on. Dave, we got one? All right, hold on. Dave has grabbed us a commercial. You listen to this, Dave? This is TV or radio?
Yes, I listened to the commercial.
Is it TV or radio?
It's a television ad.
Is it worth running?
Yes.
Okay.
Meet Ned Lamont. He can't make a decent cup of coffee.
Everybody wang chung tonight.
He's a bad karaoke singer. And he has a messy desk.
Aren't you sick of political attack ads that insult your intelligence? Senator Lieberman, let's stick to the issues and pledge to support whoever wins the Democratic primary. I'm Ned Lamont, and I approve this message.
His coffee's really not that bad.
Well, Connecticut's got to be the nuttiest fucking place. It is the nuttiest place. Of course, Vermont. Other than Vermont, Connecticut, out of their minds.
That sounded like it was it started out like one of those 1950s school films where teaching you not to talk to strangers or something. That was incredibly odd, with the man singing karaoke on his own commercial.
Steve, you're on Ron and Fez. I don't think that was him singing. I think he came in at the end.
I want to go with the Watley rhetoric of no spanking babies and no going back in time to kill babies. Woo!
Would you run on that, Fez? We will not spank or go back in time to kill Hitler.
I think that maybe there would be an audience for that message somewhere, and that maybe an independent campaign might be able to pick up some support with those issues. No time travel for killing babies. Supporting time travel, yes. For killing babies, no.
Believe me, once you time travel, you're going to kill a baby. You know, that's redundant.
Hopefully just not on purpose.
I get out of a time machine, I'm kicking a baby to death first thing. Kicking him to death.
And then coming back to your time?
No.
Oh, just staying there.
Just staying there. Being known as the baby kicker.
He showed up out of nowhere. There was a bright flash of light. Next thing you know, the baby got kicked.
I'd go back in time, show up with a lighter and tell everybody I'm God. Hey, everybody, it's me. I brought a piece of the sun down with me. Now, who wants to learn how to give a blowjob? Here's Dan. Dan, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, pal? Go ahead, Danny.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a state representative in Montana that bashed the firefighters that come here to save our state.
What exactly did he say?
Connecticut. He told one of them they didn't do a goddamn thing.
I would run on the anti-firefighters ballot. I'm against these guys. Every time there's a major fire, I notice it's the same guys hanging around. I'm very suspicious of them.
Who doesn't have a hose and a bucket? We can handle this ourselves.
Who needs firefighters? We'll just be more careful. It's an easy way to save money. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy, do you know what the problem with the government nowadays is? You got to choose between A or B, you know, Republican and Democrat. I mean, they should have about 10, 15 guys running, you know, and you get your choice. You get
well, that's what they do in France. But the problem there is a guy who picked up 11% of the vote is now running the country. So 90% of the people didn't want this guy at all.
Yeah, that's what happens when we have 3 candidates running in this country usually. Someone doesn't get 50%.
Well, it'd be unusual for 3 people to run and one guy to pick up the 50, that's for sure. They can barely pick up the 50 when it's 2 of them. Josh, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, I miss Baby Love.
Baby Love was the best.
Yeah, I'm sure Fez does too. Dude, I am so voting for Ned Lamont just because of that commercial. I want to be his running mate just because I can make a better cup of coffee than anyone.
I like Ned Lamont. I like what he's doing. Like the cut of his jib, if you will. Feel like he's going to go down there, teach those fat cats in Washington a thing or two.
I forgot, I did see one of his TV commercials where it's a picture of Joe Lieberman, a photograph of him, and it slowly morphs into George W.'s face by the end of the ad.
And then it says underneath of it, I wouldn't fuck either one of these guys.
That seems
Ned Lamont.
That seems to be really popular.
I'm not George W. Bush.
Well, wherever Lieberman goes in Connecticut, they follow him around with those big paper mache heads of him making out with George W. Bush. And wherever he's speaking, he's got to look over and look at it again. And it's called The Kiss up there.
The Kiss, yeah. It's that float with Bush kissing big jowled paper mache Joe Lieberman. And then it's also on buttons and bumper stickers everywhere, too.
And Bush probably feels so bad, like, God damn, I just thought that was a good thing when I kissed him. Now they're treating it like it's shit, huh? Damn, Lieberman's a good guy.
I was trying to be a uniter by kissing him.
He's like a Republican with a really dull coat. Too bad.
Please, everyone, turn out tomorrow. Vote for me, not Ned.
The only Jew ever to kiss a president, Joe Lieberman. I would run on the Mel Gibson is right thing against him. If I'm Ned Lamont, I would say, what would Mel Gibson do?
Lieberman should have the ad where Lamont's face morphs into Gibson's by the end of it.
You know, when Gibson was a little kid, like if he would break a glass when his dad would come back, he would just tell his dad a Jew did it. That's how he was getting away with everything. Where's your homework? The Jews stole it. It's not me. The Jews took it to their World Bank.
And his dad would believe it. Fortunately, Patrick Swayze's setting us all straight.
That's it for us, guys. Mike Zito, his new CD, Superman. It's available everywhere. Earl, does Mike have a website?
Yeah, you can check out his MySpace page, myspace.com /Mike Zito.
He's got a MikeZito.com, too.
That's it for us, guys. We're back here tomorrow right after O&A. Hopefully we'll have Buckwild on tomorrow. And you know he's going to be off the hook. Take care.
That's the end of my show. Donk.
The Ron and Fez Show.
XM 202.